There's nothing wrong with the quantum ogre if the players don't realise it's there.
Professionally run game, we can get away with it.
Yes.
Okay, just lowering the noise of drums in the
Hopefully
background.
it is pepperminty enough.
Okay, so this is start of episode 107, or as it is, Phase 3, Season 1, Episode 13.
Just on the bench, don't float. Sorry.
Obviously, with the title of quantum ogre.
Sorry, housekeeping.
That's okay, I can add in a Quantum Ogre if you like. I'm sure I have one in one of my new books.
You sure there isn't one already there?
That's why I said I'll probably have one in one of my new books.
No, it's easy. You get a perfectly normal ogre and give it blink.
So before we
increase
get
its
too
armor
far
size.
down the track, where's the dice jail? Just because,
I don't know where the dice jail ended
I'm
up,
anticipating
because things got moved around.
it might be behind the chair over there. It's okay. I'll put them in their own dice jail at some point.
I think it is over there.
I'm sure all your dice are going to play nice and there's no requirement for the jail.
Yeah. I'd like to say that. I've said that before.
But then it's definitely time to get the dice jail out because
Yeah.
it is
They-
going to be necessary.
They deserve it.
I'll put it in front of yours because
Thanks.
you have it worse than me.
Yeah, no, I have
For
a
some
worse
reason.
one.
And then doing the limbo under the wires just so I don't
Sorry.
take
I
myself
should
out.
have.
Well, you should have waited for me to get back and play me.
Well, I
over
wasn't
here.
exactly sure where it was, so I had to look for it.
Well, fair enough.
It's like saying it's over there somewhere. It's like, well, there's a
Yes.
lot of over there.
Yes. By the way, this may be of use, particularly for you. This is a crib sheet
Oh,
for
right.
the D&D 5 system, which is very useful for things like remembering things like manoeuvres and how to dodge. and
Oh,
stuff.
nice. Thank you.
Um,
Have you seen? Would you like to see?
I have a quick look.
Yeah.
yeah. It's got all the conditions in the first column.
Yep.
Rules on dying, falls, long rests, moves or move throughs, opportunity attacks.
And it says all level up.
No, this is D&D 5.
5e.
Um,
On the
5e. But as far as I know, I'll check
You're right.
and edit it if necessary. But as far as I know, level up's the same.
No, the changed conditions. Conditions have changed slightly to represent less screw over the player conditions,
Right.
and
Fair enough.
to make it a little fairer on everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
firstly, we'll start off with online tonight. We have Jeremy between cricket watching.
Cricket watching? Cricket? What's
Good
cricket?
evening,
He's watching
all.
cricket.
Oh, the game, the
Yes.
sport.
Yes.
Okay,
He's
yep.
got it on TV.
Sorry, Jeremy. Please continue or start your introduction properly.
He's the old guy.
Hey, I play Jack Nimmer, the Atruaghin tribesman who started life as a watchman, a policeman, but apparently has been chosen by Atruaghin himself to bigger and better and greater things, such that he's become the proclaimed chief of chiefs after becoming chief of the new dragon clan, and Atruaghin and the Great One of the Dragon combined to
Make him
allow
better.
to better integrate across the clans by becoming half dragon, and
Yes.
so therefore potentially, except amongst the Atruaghin, he's equally abominable to everybody.
Also, there's a good chance that you're going to have a much longer lifespan being part dragon.
Yep.
No one quite knows how long part dragons live for.
We'll find out.
They have been reported to exist, but no one's ever known where they came from, how long they lived for, or
He's
where
an-
they ended up.
He's an adventurer. That's a life-limiting thing anyway. But he's the party's old
But
man.
also, of course,
He-
the reason no one knows how long half dragons would normally live for is because normally people shoot them on sight,
Well, there's that.
like any other half creature.
Yes, there's that. And he's the party's old man, despite being a third my age.
Mm-hmm.
I've never brought that up.
You are an
deliberately.
elf.
Yes.
So imagine now if he's a middle-aged dragon.
Yes. And he'll be like that for
Is
the
he
next 2
older or
centuries.
younger than me?
If he does become a middle-aged dragon, he's older than you.
Right.
If he is just his normal age, he's still older than you.
So I'm still the young one in the group?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm good with that.
I thought you'd like how I started off with one and then the other, and they were both younger than him.
Yeah. Well,
Alrighty.
Calcrix is a kid
Yes, that's it.
At the table today, we have Paul.
who is Fluel, clan leader of Clan Claw, pretty boy, healer, warlock, diplomat, snappy dresser, and overuser of magic items.
There's no such thing.
You haven't seen my list of magic items that I've done combinations for.
Over collector of magic things, yes. Over user of magic things, as long as you're alive at the end of the encounter,
That's
there's no
very
such
true.
thing as overusing them.
That's very true.
There is a thing of underusing them when your character dies.
Yeah.
Yes.
If your character dies, you haven't used enough.
Yes, that's what healing potions are for.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add for the world?
And carrier of a sentient sword that's older than most elves. In fact, older than most elf cultures.
Technically, it may also be older than most things in the world, depending on how many times it went back in time.
Well, when it's okay, there's when it started and when it's been to is two different things. But it's still older than most elf cultures and older than most elf magic items. And I'm still trying to persuade it to talk rather than just emote at me.
Well, can I say, does it have a name?
Oh, yes. Shadow. It's the Shadow Moonblade. I don't know if, and it's going to be an Elvish.
I thought you were
Old
going to say
Elvish.
Fred, but
It may shorten to Fred, certainly. We'll go
spelled
with
with
that.
a PH.
Yes, of course. And 2 Ds.
Yeah.
That brings us to Ariadne.
So yes.
No, I'm not Ariadne. I have now transformed into Calcrix, the white dragon with the jasmine.
And the bling.
Okay, the mostly white dragon with the jasmines, but definitely the jasmines and a little bit of bling that she found off the internet for $2. So, you know, if you can bling out for that cheap, why not? She comes.
Well, she's only small.
Accompanied by her friend, gifted to her from the Queen of Darkness, Eep, the plant-like creature on a horn. And she normally has her faithful companion Grindelwaffle Brewmeister, but he's currently helping out in other areas since the Master invaded the realm that we are in.
Many things can happen. So, does anyone remember what happened last session?
Dragon. Sorry, not dragon. Dinosaur.
We were
And-
venturing
and
in
hidden critters.
to the Isle of Dread. None of us will have as good a summary as Kesley / Varney.
Yes.
Because my hands went numb after I wrote down that Cluel was in an endless waiting room with his god.
Yes.
So if you've got a
Because
summary,
bureaucracy.
I think we would probably find yours
It
a
was.
bit
Well,
more
it
complete.
was relatively short.
Well, that's
That'd be
okay.
good.
So you started off with the session in the on the safe side of the wall.
On the Isle of Dread.
On the Isle of Dread.
Yep.
And then had a couple of dream sendings.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was visions from our gods.
Quite possibly,
Where,
yes.
where I discovered that
Or
my
other
titular god is very much into bureaucracy.
Yes. Not most people don't understand just how much Ilfindor loves his bureaucracy until you actually visit him.
Hmm.
He's very much into order and categorization.
Mm.
He's the elf. You can pretty much categorize him as the elven god of order, where most elves are chaotic.
Yes. Yeah. Which actually is one of the reasons why I originally wrote Hlul up as a follower of Ilsendal. Now he's the follower of, or actually, strictly he still follows Ilsendal, but his patron is not one of Ilsendal's friends, who's also into order, but a different type.
Yep. Just be lucky it's not Xantiotu, who is also in the same pantheon.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to. No.
Well, no, that this is the thing.
Cow Creeks is just
Yeah.
like no, just no.
Yeah, this is the thing. I could potentially have been a warlock with the pantheon as a patron, which means any of them could call on me.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to do that. Cleric of a pantheon, certainly, not a warlock.
Right, so
So
keep us on track.
So yes,
Yes,
after
stuff.
you had your dream sendings, some enlightenment, some frustrations, you find yourself on the other side of the wall, traversing the trail of tar to the tar pits, because that was said to be the quickest way into the island, as the safest route, because less people die there than elsewhere in the island.
Right.
And during your travels, you manage to have a few interesting encounters with the wildlife, encounter some of the civilizations that exist in the wilds,
Right.
and some of the safe areas that have been built to keep those of faith going.
Mhm.
So we'd encountered the tree monkeys, and our dwarf accidentally bowling balled and killed a baby dinosaur
Yes.
of whose mother was
Who's-
bigger than Calcrix.
And turned up.
Yes.
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 And Calcrick scared off with her jazzwing fright.
Yeah, somehow Calcrix scared off with just the jazz wings.
Very nice work.
The intimidation version of jazz wings.
Well, hey, that's what frog-neck lizards do to scare people off.
Yep.
So it's not a bad thing to use that.
Yes.
And on your last night of the last session, where you were, it was the end of the second day, you'd just come out of a valley of mists, took some rest,
Right.
and had a sight of a titan from the dinosaur world waking up.
That's right, the
And
Titan.
Titans is one of the things we're getting involved in.
This would be our third Titan
Yes.
encounter.
Yes.
So
Fourth you've heard of.
That's a point.
we'd gotten into the safe zone, and then we'd like heard or saw.
I believe that there was a vision had by Dracmamir of him.
Right, a vision. Okay.
Because you wouldn't really...
Wasn't necessarily any state though.
But normally, if you saw it and it saw you, that would be then initiative.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just can't remember exactly how the last session ended.
It ended with the roar of the Titan.
That's
awakening.
right.
So,
Fun.
this session, you awake to the branches receding at daylight, as you realise that these refuges have been built to protect those that are here.
Yeah.
But Llewell has a sneaky suspicion it's not just protecting those that are here,
No.
it's also linked to the Feywild.
Place like this, I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
You believe the
So-
entire island is a bridge between the Feywild and the rest of the world.
Right. So, right. The entire island's a portal realm. That's just fun. I'm going to warn the others about this.
There are other
Be wary.
places that
There are
have
Fey-related things here. This place is a...
What does that mean?
the Fey.
What does it mean when you say Feywild?
Feywild? The environment can change based on whim of the powers
Yeah.
that control it.
Okay.
It's the...
You might want to be
it's
careful about giving out your name.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, no, I understand that bit,
Yeah.
but I'm kind of like, aside from
it's
that,
fairy wildlands.
yeah. But I haven't. The last time I was in the Feywild was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
So I have. I'm trying to.
Most dragons don't experience the Feywild.
Okay.
No,
Why is
it's-
that?
Because
they're the wrong type of chaotic.
it's a different type of thing to what they are.
Not
Yeah.
every type of chaotic. So can you give me an example of like how I would know that I'm encountering the Feywild as opposed to where I am?
Most people don't know unless there's something obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Everything is mutable. It's quite possible to go from one place to another, know where you're going, get there successfully, but go a different way every time.
Okay.
The
And
main
not
way,
notice.
main way a mortal knows they've stepped into the Fey realm is when a single step can change the entire environment around them before and after.
Yes.
Whereas if you feel like you're tracking through a jungle, then you don't really feel as if you're in the Feywild.
Yeah.
So Calcrix looks to Clue and goes, so how do I know if I'm in the Feywild right now?
When things change, when you don't see a cause for it,
Okay, alright.
particularly random changes.
And
It's-
you think
it's-
the big link that Luell has is the shelters.
Yes.
Okay, so how are the shelters linked?
Circular, they grow
Oh,
and
okay. Like a circle of
withdraw,
mushrooms or a circle of
Yeah,
trees or
that's right.
stones.
and they provide protection at night, but not during the day.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And they
Alright.
and they may be different every time you find one.
Hmm.
Sorry, every time you come to the same one, it's going to look like a different one, even
Different
though
place.
it's the same
Even
thing
though
every
it's the
time.
same one. Yeah.
And there's no guarantee that they return you to the time you left.
Yeah, that time is variable, can be variable too.
Okay.
But it's quite possible to be walking along and have a look at, say, the hills and mountains around you, and then stop for lunch and look around, and they're all different.
Or they're fields instead of hills, or
Fields of grass, fields of
Yeah.
flowers, or something. Yeah, certainly.
or instead of sunflowers, it's now
Yeah,
wheat. Yeah.
Bubble flowers.
Yeah.
And they just start floating away.
yes.
They take off as butterflies and turn into a forest.
Yes.
All right.
Or fairy dragons.
Yeah. I'd go with fairy dragons. I like.
They'd potentially meet one.
Okay, so
It'd be
yes, Drachnemy had been given the option to challenge the Titan, which is what woke the Titan up.
Right.
I see. So was he having a dream at this point?
He'd had a dream,
Right.
and so now he's definitely wide awake with that look of probably
Definitely
slight
shit.
panic.
So you've woken straight out of the sleep and gone,
Yes.
maybe.
Yeah, but yes,
I was going to say, someone's.
I'm not remembering that being challenged by or challenging the Titan. Is that?
I think that was part of your dream thing.
Yeah, I think.
It was actually.
I think if I remember vaguely, we raced to the shelter. We just made
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And when you went to sleep,
Yeah.
you had a dream, and this is you waking up out of that dream with the question of, are you going to challenge a Titan?
Yes.
It wasn't R, it was how.
Yeah.
How are you going to challenge it?
How are you going to challenge the Titan? Because we need to.
Well, he's being given the chance to challenge the Titan to allow you to continue through the forest.
I see. Okay. So technically, it is something he could avoid.
While if he avoids challenging the Titan, he may never make it out of the forest.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. This is good to know.
Hmm.
I will stop interrupting with questions so that Jeremy can do his thing.
No,
But of course, Drachnemy
delay
doesn't.
while I'm thinking okay.
You're happy for me to keep buying you a little bit more time
For
to think?
for such a dramatic ending, it's not one that's stuck in my mind. So maybe I've
Right.
blotted it out of my mind, thinking, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh
Drachnemy
my
doesn't
god."
know the repercussions of not following through with it, so that's more the players.
Okay, so yeah.
Yes.
So you could avoid this. Oh, I don't know. You could do what I do, which is whenever I'm in doubt, I ask my gods what to do.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah, well, the consequence told me
given
what to do.
Yeah. Well, given half of Drachnemir's gods, they might just say, "Go for it," with no further instruction.
Well, isn't Atruaghin really the only one he kind of listens to?
Well, he's the boss.
Well, he does
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to quite a few of them actually, because
Okay.
there's a pantheon of Atruaghin's people that, except for one of them, he listens to the other five.
Okay. Yeah.
With
And to be fair, all the ancestors are important.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they get pissed off if you don't say that.
Except for Denel Tiger Stripes.
Well, he's
Denel
important
Tiger
in his
Stripes
own
is
way.
the tiger god.
He is the patron of the Tiger Clan,
Yep.
who's also the servant of Atzantiotl.
See. And Exantiotl's the
Bad
big
guy.
bad.
Yes.
He is the one who destroyed Atruaghin's civilization
I think
twice.
Twice,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yes, he's got a real nasty on for Atruaghin.
Yeah. Yeah. He sounds
Two-
like he.
Yeah. 2 entire civilizations are now in the Hollow World because of him.
Yeah. Well, he sounds like a really.
He's a bad person.
Sounds like someone. If Calcrix was ever more powerful enough, she would probably try to put
Yeah.
in their place.
Yes, but he's for amongst the various very unpleasant gods. He's one of the least pleasant, or more unpleasant, and also one of the more powerful.
Of course, which is why
Yeah,
I caveated that with was she
Yes.
ever powerful enough?
yeah, you'd have to get up to what was it, rank about 30 immortal to have a chance at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just on to 11. I think
level 11 normal.
normal. Yeah, that's what I
not-
mean.
Yeah, not sort of.
I think I have to be playing this game for like 40 more years before I could even get anywhere near it.
Oh yeah, major god level immortal.
And that would make me 90.
Yeah, but at that point you just go, well, this is just what we're going to do, and not play through every level, because that's
Right.
a different scale of things.
Is that enough time, Jeremy?
Jeremy's going, no, watching
Those are the
cricket.
things that, if he wakes up with the question of how are you going to challenge the Titan, and then he wakes up, that means that he doesn't need to answer whatever it was that asked him in the green right there and then.
Right.
It was Car the Preserver who asked you.
Yeah.
The T-Rex.
Yes. One of the elder immortals.
Oh yeah. No. I'm not saying that it's not going to be answered. Just that, hang on.
Yeah.
If he was being asked in a dream state, and now he's awoken, because he's been knocked out of the dream state due to the question,
Yeah.
then effectively he can't answer right now.
Well, they basically were looking for actions, not answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do know that they were not
He-
getting you to respond to him. It was you to actually show through your actions than by your words.
So Drachnima has the sense that
Yeah.
he is supposed to act on this now. Okay.
But the point being the fact that any actions he's taking are not being taken in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's the...
Is this the equivalent? I've got to have my coffee first.
No, it's more the idea of, in the real world, as in what we've just woken up to, we woke up to the sound of the Titan awakening. Is that right?
No, you only had it in
Or
your
we went to
dream.
bed with that.
It was what you had in your dream. You didn't
So
actually.
the rest of the party don't know anything about the Titan as yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
No. So from Dracula's perspective, yes, the Titan is on the island that we're at right now,
Yeah.
but we haven't got to it immediately. So at this stage, the immediate action is wake up as if from potentially screaming with a nightmare, whatever type of stuff,
Yeah.
but then aim to won't plan to describe or explain the context of the dream as yet, because he's still trying to understand himself, whilst he encourages the rest of the group to act things up, and we will keep moving and deal with Titans when they come to them.
Right.
I'm not sure that this is
Okay.
going to work as a plan, but technically I can't do anything about it. So
Fair enough.
Well, you've got to kind of think that I'm pretty certain the party's going to find the Titan soon enough. So let them enjoy their breakfast.
Yeah, Calcrix would be having her coffee and a muffin, so, you know.
Hmm.
And that's when you notice that Lani and Brumdrum are not with you at the moment. When you all woke up, they were missing.
Any sign of them? Do I need to roll a perception, or can I just look around?
You look around, doesn't look as if they actually left the trees.
I asked Lul, has this got anything to do with the Feywild thing he was just telling us about?
Almost definitely. Well, anything here could be to do with the Feywild, but yeah. Also note things like illusions and so on are sort of inherently part of what a lot of things here can do, and altered shapes and various other things.
I might see if I can do like a detect magic or a detect, find person type thing.
If you've got something like True Sight, not that you're going to be able to use that very often because it's a moderate level spell, but
I think that might actually
that's going to be incredibly
my
useful.
other character, because again, I'm using...
Somebody here does have it because it's been used.
Yeah, I think I might.
Yeah.
Draknema is going to be stepping out of the shelter
Right.
early on, and basically wandering back and forth around the area, looking at what might be up ahead of us and trying to understand exactly what it is that he's been tasked to complete.
Yeah.
Okay. How I go about it.
In the where the tar heads off, you can see that a fresh footprint has stepped into that region while you were sleeping, and whatever it is heavy enough to sink about 6 inches into the dirt.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And is big enough that all of you can pretty much walk shoulder to shoulder through a single footprint.
Okay.
But obviously, hey, it demonstrates the power of the shelters because, hey, we didn't hear or feel anything overnight.
Yes.
And the director of the footprint?
Direction of the footprint, it heads deeper into the island.
The way we're going?
The way you're going.
Yep.
Could I use something like Lair Sense or something like that to see if I can sense where they are?
You could possibly do that, though that would be requiring you to mostly do a ritual. I'm just looking
Yeah, I think it'll take me 10 minutes, but...
Yeah.
It's not like Draknema was in a hurry to do things this morning.
Well, he did leave the shelter quite early, but yes, he's certainly no hurry in a part right now.
Yes.
So Lair Sense allows you to protect your lair
Okay, alright.
and sense when other people are entering it.
Yeah. So it's location based.
Yeah, because I was sure I had something like True Sight or something to do with being able to find because I'm a very pack-oriented type creature or family-oriented creature, that I had something that enabled me to kind of keep track of the people around me.
Yeah.
I just don't know exactly what it's called, which is always a problem. That's why I'm having a quick look at my spell lists here.
So I haven't finished putting that together, which doesn't help. Well, at least it's got the skills on there. That's where I'm still in the middle of building things, multiple things at the same time. I'm trying to finish one thing before moving on, but it doesn't always work.
No, that's fair. Some things are linked to each other.
See, I wish this was as easy as Shadowrun, where you've got like 9 different spells, and they're all pretty straightforward.
That's what being a sorcerer is about. It's just choosing them. Yeah, they've done a pretty good job of. Not everything is overly simple.
Could I try and maybe locate an object that I remember being on Marnie, like the trident?
Okay, so give me a sec. I'm just looking. Which one you're looking for?
Locate object. It's a ritual.
Yeah, I'm just getting to it so I can actually find it.
I was hoping that would help narrow it down for you.
I was doing a search on the actual document.
Oh, okay. There's something in here called Test of Souls. It sounds interesting.
Could be
Okay,
dangerous.
so what level spell are you going to build it as?
Considering might be in combat later, what's...
Well, you can either cast it or you can do it as a ritual. But I think you've got it as a ritual only. So
yeah.
The DC of it will be, the basic DC is, I've got to remember what it has down for the ritual casting. Sorry, I wasn't. I was hoping it was all on your character sheet. So.
No, this is still dead old character sheet from
Right.
like level 9.
Because I thought I'd put casting stuff on there. Give me a moment.
Would this help?
No, because I'm looking at the actual thing here.
Just if you look at lair sense, there's got to be something somewhere describing how to set things up into your lair, because anywhere where you've got the treasure that's the material component for this could be declared to be your lair because it's centered around the item, not a place. So yeah, wherever we've got our camp set up, you could say this is my lair.
Yeah, well this is locate
But-
object.
Yeah, but it does involve having a 500 GP worth
The
Okay,
ritual
and-
stuff. 'cause-
item as a
So
Oh,
do
here we
have
go.
it.
thing.
Second level divination spell. Casting charm on action or ritual. So
Give me a sec. It's not on there.
Oh.
I'm looking for how the rules on casting the spell, which is that doesn't have.
oh, okay.
Root of it.
Trying to see where I'd actually put that.
I just thought you'd put all the information for me here.
Yeah, just give me a sec.
So 4th, 8 mile, 4 miles in the ocean.
Yes. By the way, as a note, I have both resurrection and reincarnate as rituals.
That helps.
Um,
Because I think
Yeah.
we've used that once before when we accidentally decimated. Well, we've accidentally
did.
decimated people.
yeah,
More than once.
we killed some people who were coming up to say hi, and we unkilled them.
Yeah.
Revivify, which is the cheaper version, was what was used. But I've got both of those because reincarnate costs twice as much to cast, but it doesn't need 100% body the way resurrection does. Of course, you won't come back in the same body you started with.
So I'm just reading the details of the that I do have in this description.
Yes. Of course, if it gets used on Drachnamir, chances are whatever he is, it's going to be a half dragon afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we find out, oh, he's actually now a half dragon gnome.
Don't do that to him. He doesn't want to be a gnome.
Well, it's a random roll.
Well, the major critical is still expect to try and lead the clans and change them.
Yeah.
I think the DC of casting a ritual was 15 plus twice by spell level.
That sounds really high. 10 plus the spell level, maybe. Which is what you use when you're using a scroll.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be harder than the scroll because it doesn't have the magic in it already.
Right, okay, so yeah, 10 plus twice the spell level, I think was one thing you
But-
mentioned at some point.
I've cast these before using
Yeah.
these sheets as a.
Yes, but the thing is, I don't remember the exact formula, so that's what I was
Yeah.
looking up for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
You're-
you're asking me stuff that I've had my head in other things.
Yeah, he's also been very lax on asking us to do rolls on casting rituals, because I do them all the time.
Yes.
And I can't remember
Well,
having been asked to
Usually
do
it doesn't
20
matter
roll
too
for
much.
Pardon?
Usually it doesn't matter too much.
Well, yeah, usually it's things like, well, I'm doing the evening campsite protective ritual. It doesn't matter too much if it takes 20 minutes rather than 10.
Exactly.
I guess I was
So-
trying to understand why this one's different, but
Because you can cast it at higher levels than just the base level,
Yeah,
and that determines the DC of it,
Which
which
would
increases
then
the
mean you
distance
can
it
do more
reaches.
things.
yeah,
So you can cast it at the basic one and not get as much information out of it.
Yeah.
okay.
it's like my Harkin, my present steed, the dragon thing, Dragon Elf. That's casting a second level ritual at 4th level. Harder to do, but I get a much chunkier result.
And particularly in this particular case, where if they have been dragged fully into the Feywild, assuming we're not currently in the Feywild
We're
locally,
in a portal
Uh,
realm for it.
then your chances of actually the locate object working are probably greatly diminished. Unless
Well,
you cast it at a higher level
Yeah,
spell.
according to
Yeah.
this 4th level, it's a base 8 mile, giving you a radius of 4 miles, and then at higher levels you can search up to.
Okay,
20.
so I've got the
Yeah.
the DC here that I put in one of the classes.
Hmm.
So that I'm just transferring it here. Because if you want to do it fairly often, it's better to actually have the rule for it because it's not actually prepared.
I was just looking for a way to see if I can figure out where I'm gathering that part of this is for convenience, for the fact that we don't have a Kesley or a Florian here today, but Calcrix doesn't know that.
Okay,
Hmm.
so
Yes.
the DC of casting at the base level is 12, or if you want to, and that gives you a 4-mile radius around you.
Nice.
Or you can increase it to a 4th level ritual, which gives you 8 miles around you.
I'm no good at rapping, so I might start with the 4 mile one, but
Hmm.
So it would be a Arcana check for your character. Just checking, see. I thought I put my phone on silent.
No, that was my phone.
so it's an Arcana check.
It is an Arcana check, yes.
So I'm just trying to check what my Arcana is. Intelligence, I think. Do you know what my plus intelligence is? I've got +1 here.
Plus 2, it's right there.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Plus
cool.
2 up there, yes.
So
But you do it with charisma because that's your
that's nice.
spell casting stat.
Alright. So I roll a d20 and hope I get above a 12.
You add so you add 10 to the roll.
Okay, cool. 15.
So that means you got to roll to 15.
No, it's 5 plus 10.
So that means yes, you got a 15. You cast your spell.
Because, my dice don't roll in the double digits. Why would they?
And you don't believe that they are within 4 mile of you.
Because
Which you don't think they could have gotten away from that distance on foot.
on foot, yeah. So it means they've gone further. So at least, I'll just have a general look around the campsite to see if I can see any signs beyond the great big sodding foot that's just outside of the shelter.
You can see the partially clawed feet of Dracnomir.
And that's it. There's no other signs of them.
Although one of them does have a smiley face in it. As you look down, you realise it's Eep.
Oh, I
Right.
see. Eeps posing as a foot, or Eeps posing as a smiley face.
Posing as a smiley face in the footprint.
Okay. And just out
Cause-
of sheer amusement, how does Eep know what an emoji is?
He just does.
Okay. All right.
He's always got a big smile on his face.
Yeah. Well, fair
Ah.
enough. Yeah.
So he's actually a Blackmore item.
She might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's
Um,
all black.
Well, technically,
That's
right now
not
she looks like
generally
a plant. But,
indicative.
yeah. I'm guessing Cluel and Drachnimar are intending to see if we can find them further ahead along the road or find signs of them. Is that the idea as we progress out of the shelter?
Yeah, well, we're definitely keeping an eye on everything.
Yeah.
On the premise that someone is going to attempt to trick us, because that's one of the things that does happen.
Okay. All right. Well, I've at least tried figuring out where they are. And I'm okay if our plan is to just try and see if we can find them along the way.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Okay.
So Drachnimar found the big foot when he was searching around.
So Dracnima's obviously somewhat distracted, but he will suggest that, well, yes, it seems likely that they have been taken by the Feywild,
Yeah.
and our ability to even access the Feywild at this time of the day is almost nil, and our ability to find them, if they're in there, is about the same. So I would recommend we press on, and
I
when assuming there's another shelter in the evening, then
Maybe
we
I'll
may be
turn
able
up.
to try and deal with something then.
yes, I do have both augury and divination as rituals, if it comes to that.
If you suggest asking for them, going down that pathway, Dracnima will suggest that this may not be the best day to do it.
Not the best. Yeah. There are going to be time and place considerations here.
Do you want food? And is this warm enough for you if you do?
I do want some food, and it should be warm enough.
Shepherd's pie stuffs.
So yes, you.
So,
Now, this was technically, we would expect to reach the tar pits today, or is it another day of travel?
You expect to read the tar pits by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess we'll head
Depending
and
on
hope
if you're
for
not
the
stuck
best.
in the Feywild or not.
We'll head on and hope we find our friends.
yes.
So,
Now, is the shelter big enough to hold
you and your
the-
mounts.
mounts?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
Are there mounts also
I knew we
on?
had the discussion, but I couldn't remember.
Your mounts are not gone.
Oh, so the mounts are here.
But Lani and Bromdrum never had melons.
And Drazzle?
Yeah.
Drizzle's here.
Does Drazzle have any clue?
Drizzle just says he'll see them when he sees them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Drazzle's not worried. I'm less worried. I don't know if that's a wise thing, but alright. Head on we will.
So you do have Drachnamir making a survival roll to follow the trail of breadcrumbs.
The trail of tar drops,
Yep.
and it's just Drachnamir at the moment.
Well, he's the one leading.
27.
That sounds good.
You are surprised a couple of times when the tar is at least probably about 50 or 60 feet apart between drops.
Right.
But you do manage to keep roughly on the trail you're given.
Mm-hmm.
Either they weren't dropping much at this point, or they were travelling fast enough that the drops weren't noticeable.
No, running hard.
Yeah.
Certainly that was the impression that Dracula would get. And we know how long it's been since they last did the tar run.
They didn't tell you.
Okay.
Which means they could be in the middle of one, or they do them on a monthly cycle.
Yep, that's what I was going for.
Because it's the Tiger Clan that uses the tar.
Mm-hmm. Certainly Dracula didn't try and talk to them too much, so that's quite fair enough.
Mm.
Okay, so the travel is probably more eerie than satisfying as you're travelling through the jungle.
Yep.
You're used to sounds of insects, life, and all that sort of stuff, but for the entire day it's just still.
Which means it's actually pretty ominous. Or it feels ominous anyway. Silence means there's something persuading them not to make a noise, and it's usually ambushes.
I'll be kind of very cautious and checking for not just traps, but also not traps, but signs of animals or ambushes and that kind of thing. But also for my friends.
Okay, give me a perception roll for Galcrix.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's too bad. Since it's fallen way far up the back. So I think that's an 18 now. It is an 18.
Pick it up and roll it again.
So it's an 18. So perception is plus
For you, plus 10.
10, so it's 28.
Oh, sorry, plus 8.
Oh,
So-
plus 8.
yeah.
26.
Okay, so having a look around, you do notice signs that all the plumage, all the leaves and grasses in the area are more fuller than they were in the previous areas you were walking through, making you think that this is not a herbivore territory.
Yeah.
You've just walked right into the middle of a carnivore territory.
The fauna is full in this area. No, it's flora. Flora.
Okay, tell you. The fauna is
Vegetation.
lacking.
The vegetation is thicker.
Okay.
She'll warn her
This
party
exact
members
memory
of this.
certainly
Yeah.
aim for caution and awareness on where we're travelling. And, he's assuming that the carnivore in question is not the Titan, because hey, he shouldn't have been around long enough.
Well, yes. I don't think it's going to sort of approach us. It's going to turn up when it turns up.
Mm.
And it's
Yep.
going to be rather later.
Okay, so
Because
you're rather
the
weary
reason
of
for
you're rather weary of predators
Sorry,
right now. So I am going to ask each of you to give me an initiative roll and tell me what skill and ability you're using and why.
Jack Newman's probably going perception more than health, so
Yeah.
that's appropriate.
What's my plus to?
That
Well, when-
Well, I was asking what skill you were using.
Oh, right,
Nice.
okay. Brain, sorry. Skill first, then roll.
Yep.
Right.
I'm using passive perception
Passive
because
perception.
it's
Okay, so what is Llewell's passive perception?
24.
24.
I think my perception's one of my strongest ones.
Yeah. I've got a feat which increases my passive
Oh.
perception. I'm actually better off doing that than doing it deliberately.
So you're not really paying attention. You're just doing your normal.
I'm doing my normal, and I'm naturally paying attention to everything.
He's alert.
I'm very alert. But yeah,
Because the
the world
Feywild
needs
needs
more
more alerts.
exactly right. And I wish to be that alert. But yeah, the
right.
feat gives me a big bonus to passive perception and investigation. So I notice things really easily.
So Jeremy, what is Llewell doing for his?
Well,
sorry,
Dracmir-
Jack
Dracmir
Newman's
doing
got
his.
20.
He got 20, but what skill was he doing again? His perception.
I figure it was presumably perception, because he was staying alert. So. And unfortunately, he rolled less than 10, so he got under his passive. But
Okay. And what skill did Calcrick choose?
So it comes from under the list of skills here. So it wouldn't be something like athletics. It'd likely be either perception or insight or survival. I'm guessing.
technically, you can use anything you can justify.
Survival insights for
Yeah.
determining falsehood in people.
Oh, okay.
So like
Yeah,
survival could be
you
used to
could be doing,
say
like,
looking for
Stealth,
ambush
for example, if
sites.
you're trying to stealth.
Yeah.
Well, perception is wisdom, and so survival.
Yeah.
The only
Actually-
one that gives me a really good plus would be either dexterity or charisma, which I don't.
Very chunky.
I guess because I'm very cautious, I could possibly justify dexterity by saying being stealthy as possible, but
Mm.
I don't know. Does that fly?
Yeah, you're
Well-
you're being not where bad things are going.
You
to be.
can basically use your initiative to say, I'm putting myself in the
Stealth
finding
mode?
myself in the best position to retaliate if someone strikes my party.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's
I'm
that's kind
counter
of what
ambush.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, counter ambush stealth.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
And then you roll for it.
And yeah, okay, so.
Because the skill actually determines how you will appear at the start of the encounter.
Is that
Ah.
a 5, a 6,
That's
or
why
a
I'm
9?
asking what skill they're using.
Yes.
I think that's a 5. Yeah, that's a 5. So that would be plus.
Yeah. Yes. Perception is nominally
Is it plus
not one of
10?
my best skills,
Plus
but
8 for you.
Plus 8, so 13.
just a
So
good one to use.
not great, but
Entirely acceptable.
yeah.
So you're using perception instead of stealth?
No, I was using stealth.
So stealth will be plus 10.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. So 15. 5 plus 10 is 15.
Yeah.
God, I'm having a hard day.
Ooh, excuse me.
That's part of the joy of fizzy drinks.
Yes, it is. I could have gone for history and gone, well, I'm doing known history of the Feywild and working on knowledge of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But I'd have rolled a 1, so
Llewell
Oh.
starts hearing a chittering in the tall grasses around you.
Right. What sort of chittering is it? Like the sort of laughing of sprites or something like that? Or
You've had cats that chitter at birds.
right. Okay.
You can make a nature roll to try to
I
figure
can.
it out.
Yes, definitely do that. So I should have actually suggested it myself, but and I got a specialisation in Fey,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a expertise.
Expertise dice added if it is free,
Yes,
which it isn't.
right, but it's a Fey environment, so it's a good way to start. I've got a check, and I
You do.
just rolled a 20.
Nice.
Very nice. That gives me a total of 30.
Okay, so you realise you're right in the middle of a pack of creatures that consider you prey.
I quietly mention this to the others. Do I know what type of creature they are?
Well, considering it's an island of dinosaurs, a
It's going to
pack
be small
of
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs that will work together and probably coordinate.
Raptors
Yes.
aren't licensed to Jurassic Park, are they?
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
So possibly something like that.
Yeah. Yes. Well, a real velociraptor is
I
only
would
this
certainly
big.
be expecting that style.
Yes. But Colophysis and a couple of other ones, which were depicted in Jurassic Park as pack hunters, are actually known to be pack hunters.
Okay, so you now have a bonus and a move. How would you like to position yourself, knowing that you're just about to be attacked by a pack of creatures?
I tell Harkin to take off.
Okay.
We're going to go straight up.
He starts spiraling up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hopefully there's not a pterodactyl nearby.
Yes, that's a point. One thing I'm going to have to do to hand out when we're actually out of combat is a thing I remembered. I just want to mention it now so I don't forget it. We do actually have a broom of flying in our group magic list. Magic element.
Probably best to hand that to Drachnima, as in,
Exactly.
or Lani or Brum
Yeah,
Drum.
we
if
want
they're
Dracomir
around.
has wings.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, hand it to the non-winged folk.
Oh yeah.
But definitely
Yeah.
worth.
Well, particularly Lani, because she's got no real alternative. If I use the carpet, in fact, I could take it on Harkin, because like a horse, you could put two people on a standard mount. Or I could lend one of them the carpet. We've got enough for all of us to be airborne, basically.
You do.
At the moment, we don't have to worry about them.
Yes. Later. So looking down from above, can I see what I couldn't see before?
Not yet, because you had your action.
Well, that's fair enough. I'm still going up. I haven't looked down yet. Fair enough.
So that's just familiar going up. Harkin.
Him on top of it.
Oh, you
Oh,
on
that's
top
my
of-
mount.
Oh, that's your mount. Okay.
Yes.
And then it goes up.
Yeah, because that's actually there. I'll use my bonus action as I'm moving to tell IO, who's my familiar, to look down and tell me what they find. They can do that.
Okay. Give me a perception roll for your familiar.
Mm-hmm. Go away, whole thing. No, I don't want that. Sorry, trying to find a familiar right up. Pop-ups kept coming up. Perception.
Ooh, that's pretty high.
Yes.
Is that a 15?
Um,
Martin just rolled. I think it's a
okay.
15.
I got a 16 on perception.
So that also means that my camera over here is not working again, so just so Jeremy can actually see.
Sorry, I've got advantage because owls are listed as keen hearing and sight. And yes, I got 16.
And I thought I tested it earlier.
Mm.
You got 16?
Yeah.
Okay. He sees nothing.
What can do to 15?
Mm.
Okay, so yes, it is now Drachnomir's turn. You've seen Luell take off above you and shimmer out of sight.
Okay.
But I haven't specifically noticed anything yet,
No.
other than
Lure
Cluel's movement.
You haven't noticed anything but Clural's movement,
and disappearance.
but you did hear the chittering around you. Not sure what it is,
Yep.
though. And him saying that you're surrounded.
And so the current environment is effectively grassy plain, but we're doing full grass. Is that right?
It's tall grass with trees.
Okay, so it's trees as well. Yep. And but yeah, so he can't see anything while he's astride Elster at the moment over the grass.
Does he want us to take a action to have a look into the area, or does he want to do something else with his action?
I'm surprised you had sirenscapes.
At this stage, it'll be basically,
It's too much to manage right now.
assuming he's in the lead, it'll be a case of signaling a stop and take a look around to see what's coming and where it's coming from, or how many it's coming from.
Okay, give me a perception roll as you're having a look around you.
32.
Okay, looking around you, you see that there are at least 10 dark shadows in the grasses surrounding you.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, they're coming from all directions at the moment.
That you seem to have walked right into the middle of an ambush of them.
Yep.
There's no markings on the trail for you to have even known they were there. They left no presence.
That's right. So is that the action, or I will say, if I've got the opportunity, I'll call out enemy all round, at least 10. Appear to be. Do I have any idea what they are, or team what they are?
You can't see them. They are definitely
Can't see them?
hidden from view, but you can tell where
Got
they are.
shadows at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Just a note before anyone takes any damage. Everybody but me has an extra 12 hit points. I've got more than that. Because you are basically basking in my radiance, and it works.
Does it work if they're not you?
Everybody basically that I have rested with has that effect.
Okay, just asking.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
a result of a long rest is not an activity where you are.
It's actually shorter long rest.
Well, okay, but yeah, but
and
the
up,
idea that it's not a range thing.
no,
during
it's
the day,
it's well up to
where
5
you-
creatures you can see at the end of the rest, and those temporary hit points stay until they go away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
Calcrix, what is Calcrix doing now that Drachnomir has also made the announcement that there's things there?
So have I perceived the chittering?
You've heard the chittering, yes?
And I know that we're surrounded.
Yes.
I can't see who's surrounding us though.
You cannot.
But they see us as predators.
Well, Luell did say that you're surrounded by predators.
Yes.
Um,
And then I disappeared. Because obviously.
I won't do that one. How far away is Drachnomir from me?
Around it.
Do I know?
Drachnomir is probably within about 10 feet of you.
If I say that I
Is
was
that
going
good?
towards the
Like
back and stealthing,
What was that, Jeremy? What were you trying to
How
interject?
wide is the trail?
The trail is
Or
at this
whatever we're
stage
following.
probably about 5 to 15 feet across, depending on fallen trees and grasses.
Okay. So certainly they've got cover right up until they're in melee range.
well, what I was saying to Martin is, because I'm up the back of the group and I've stealthed a little, could we push that to 15 feet away?
You could push that to 15 feet away.
So I could possibly safely do Thunderwave and not get him?
You could.
And you could do Thunderwave and not get the eagle, because you could do it in a direction that's not down the middle of the party.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping to do.
Well, with me being airborne, that becomes really easy.
Considering my rolls, though, I'm not entirely confident.
Yeah, but
So it is 15 foot
Okay.
cube.
It's 15 foot cube.
yeah,
That's
Ju-
why I
just,
was.
just referring to Llewell that if he's
Yeah.
flying less than 15 feet above you, he still gets hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I was trying to establish.
yeah, and
Because it's a
I'm
cube.
but-
It's
but
not a
presumably-
direction.
yeah, and I'm probably
But if
only
you're
about
at the
that
back
far
of the
up.
party,
Mm.
I'm assuming you're going to do it either off to the back to one, back one flank. Or something.
Doesn't have a choice
So-
of direction. It
Yeah.
is 15 feet centered on the character.
It's kind of like a radius, except it's
Oh,
cube
yeah.
shaped.
Oh,
It's an AOE.
okay, they've changed it.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's
It used to be a staff you wave at people.
This
not
is the
anymore.
Thunderwave spell first
Yeah.
level.
Yes.
yeah.
It's just an outwards. It used to
be
It used to be a cone
in a
too.
direction that
Yeah, it used to be
well,
a
I
cone.
do have like
Cone,
lightning
yeah.
cones and things like that.
So this is a good every enemies on all sides.
Yeah.
Throw off
Yes.
the spell.
Yeah,
That's-
it's just it's a quick instant reaction type spell.
Yes.
But I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna damage Dracula if I could help it. Since you've taken off. So that's Thunderwave. I think it's. Did I name the right one? Or was it Thunder?
Thing.
I've got too many Thunder things here.
Well,
It's
it is your
like-
character's stick.
Yes. Thracky dooms. Oops.
Gotta have cool. Yeah, Cool Lightning's my other one. But I think because I can't see anyone, exactly see anyone, I think Thunderwave would be my best one.
Mm.
Let me just make sure I've got the right spell in front of me.
First level spell, 15 foot cube. Cast as an action. Range of self.
Yeah, there we go. Yep, there we go. It is the right one. So I roll a
so
d20
in
for
level
that.
up, the cube no longer effectively start from have a quarter of the cube starting from the quarter of the.
We'll look up
character,
level
or
up's
from the
version of
base
it
of the
because it
character?
might be slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 15 feet from a centre. What you're describing is a cone effect.
Oh, they
Well,
make a Constitution
So,
saving
yeah,
throw.
that's like. I would have thought, because that I mean, yeah, that's treated like an emanation, the 15 foot
It
cube
is.
type stuff.
It is an
Yeah, but
emanation.
Yeah, it's an emanation that's a
it's an
blast.
emanation?
Yeah,
Mm.
it's just a shock effect, but it's an emanation.
But yeah, none of that
As
kind of-
as an AOE, it's an emanation.
Yeah, but okay, previously it was a directed emanation in the sense of
Exactly, as I said, it used to be a cone.
coming out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you could also say you're ready to cast Thunderwave if the attacking creatures come within attack range of you.
Close enough.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that way you can guarantee you hit some of them.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I just sort of offered that as a option.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I'll do that.
So you can cast it up to your highest spell casting level, which increases the damage by 1d8 for each level you increase it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know that as well. I think I'll ready it so that I can guarantee I'm hitting something.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
fair
if
enough.
anything comes within a certain range, I guess the thing I'm questioning is, do I want to cast it at first level and do just 2d8,
Or overdo it.
or do it a little bit higher and chance more damage?
That is up to you.
It's one action. Okay, it's instantaneous. So the first level. What are my options for higher levels?
What-
Do I have limited spell slots for higher levels?
You have limited spell slots for all levels.
Okay. What?
Sorry, I'm just trying to find
Yep.
it at the moment.
I know.
So you have 5 first level slots and 1 6th level slot.
Okay. I don't have any fifth one.
You have 2 5th, 4 4th, 4 3rd, 4 2nd.
Might do it at the second.
You can do it at 2nd.
So that'll give me 3d8 if it goes off.
Wow.
And hopefully I don't roll crap.
Okay. Just making notes so I can actually keep track of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you find that you have, based on where you are, at least 6 of them come within range, because the other 4 are going for Jeremy and Elsin.
Yep. Okay.
So, because you readied an action, your spell goes off
Right.
before they actually get to do anything,
Okay.
because that's what ready does. If
Yeah.
you have delayed, you have to wait until they finished all their stuff. And
no,
then
I
cast.
didn't want to delay.
So that means you now get to roll your 3d8.
Okay, so it goes straight to damage. They don't get to roll the Constitution
They get to
saving
roll
throw?
after.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's not horrible. 9, 10, 11, 12.
You got 12.
Yep.
And the DC.
4, 5, and 3.
DC of your spell. So he's getting back to this so I can
Mhm.
see everything fully. Spell DC is 22 for them.
Wow.
So they're unlikely to succeed at the spell.
Yeah. Another reason to up the effective spell
Yeah,
level.
yeah. I
Okay.
have no idea
Oh,
what their DC would be.
well, small, relatively small. Basically animals, it's not going to be huge, particularly if it's wisdom.
Oh, so whose DC do they? Who has to beat 22? Me or them?
Them.
Them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, this
Sorry,
is
I
your-
thought I had to beat.
No, 22's
No.
the effect
Yeah.
you're causing.
You're casting
them.
a spell that's difficult to resist.
Yeah.
And how much did it actually do again, Paul? Did you remember the numbers?
12.
It was
yeah.
2. It was 2d8 was the base.
3. I did roll 3d8, and
Yep.
I added it up for you. I got a 4, 5, and 3, which equals 12.
Yep, there you go.
Because I know you prefer to get the whole number rather than
Yeah.
have to math.
Yeah.
What's up?
Lack of attention. Meow.
Yeah,
Meow.
pretty much. It's like a function.
Yeah. Meow.
He was sleeping for a bit, and now he's woken up. And he's like, everyone's at the table.
And they're
Yes.
playing a game I must butt in.
Of course, they're talking, and I want to help talk. Yes. By the way, we have a new dog. He's very cute.
Okay, so you see
Oh,
six of these creatures closing in on you and Drazzle,
Yep.
and you throw out your spell,
Thunderwave. Yep.
and all the grass flattens out to 15 feet away from you.
Yep.
Well, actually, I think it's technically 7 feet away from you,
Yeah.
Yes.
because it's centered
7
in you.
feet
Because it's-
surrounding.
Yeah, because it's 15 across, not 15 radius. Yeah.
15 across, down, and also down too. So if you're standing on something that's fragile, it will go straight through that.
Yes, it's a sphere depicted as a cube in the game.
Okay, so yes, you do this amazing flash of stuff, and you see creatures the size of a house cat go
Oh.
flying.
Well, I didn't know they were that sized, so...
Yeah, well, that's the thing. None of us had seen them until
Yeah.
this point. So yeah, they are qualified.
And then the other 4 manage to attack Drachnamir and Altskin as they go leaping out of the grasses. An impressive leap, considering they're leaping about 30 feet into the under people.
That's
That's
Yeah.
an impressive leap. And
yeah.
as a group, they'd be pretty deadly, even
Oh,
if
yeah,
they are
but-
house cat sized.
Yeah, think of it. You get a dozen of those leap on somebody all at once. Ouch.
Okay, so the first one hits armor class 21 on top of the list is Drachnamir.
force.
Oh yeah, it does.
Does Dracnomir get hit?
Oh,
Whoops.
oh,
Apologies, I was on mute, so I sneezed and got turned off. Yes, 21 hit.
oh, thank you.
Okay,
7.
so you get 6 piercing damage from it biting you.
I'll ask
Okay.
after game.
Yes.
And then it tries to claw you while it's there, hitting an armor class of 12, which I assume will be a miss.
That will miss.
Okay, so the second one leaping across at you gets advantage because he's friends with you.
Yep.
Which was good for him because he might have just critically failed. Managed to
Okay,
get
okay, you take the one anyway, surely.
Yeah. Yes.
managed to get a 13 on the first attack, which I'm assuming is a miss.
Still miss, yep.
And then tries to claw you for a 15.
Back to miss.
Okay, do you have stats for your elk skin?
I don't think I do. I've got stats for an elk, but they may not be quite the same. Despite appearances.
Yes.
Luckily I have books on hand, and I can open up to where I expect it to be.
Oh, thank you.
Martin and I just had a meal, so we'll have our nuts a little bit later.
That's right. Yeah.
Crack that energy drink before you
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
I knew there was a reason I was going to get you something, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay, don't have it in this one. So they do have drop bear in that one, which is quite amusing.
I do have a set of stats for Australian critters for 15.
Oh, it's the bulky.
The bolt is
I'll get it.
It's going to open the door a crack for Therion, so he's got something he can whiff.
You know, one of these books at least says strikes in it, so I use that as a starting point.
Might need to be pushed back in, as well as unlocked. The door handle, I mean, because I pulled it slightly, so it's like a filter. Ah, there we go. That'll make him happy. Thanks.
So, Paul, can you pull Monster Manual off that shelf over there, please? I should have it there. Oh no, I've got it down here.
That's why you can't find it.
It's not here.
I had prepared some of these things earlier, so I'm just trying to make sure I at least give him the, not the going to kill him sort of creature.
Yeah, let's avoid that right now.
Oh, are you okay to open my drink for me, please?
Couldn't we?
Thank you.
It'll be handy if most of these books had what I was expecting, wouldn't it?
Could have done that spell at first level and still had an effect, I think.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but starting a little higher on small critters, just in case they happen to be tough,
Oh, I didn't
is
know what
worth doing.
size they were
Oh yeah,
so
oh yeah. The fact there was a lot of them,
And if they can jump 30 feet,
that's just bloody scary.
yeah.
Even worse if they had pack
Because
tactics, and they probably
In terms
do.
of tallness, even at large, they'd be able to overwhelm me.
Oh god, yes.
Especially if there was,
Oh,
all
even-
of them as a group.
No, even more so, because I think you're limited to like 4 small creatures in a square. You're large, you're 4 squares. A lot of them can get to you at once.
Get to me, yeah.
Tiny creatures can fit more in.
Yeah. And if they're tiny, yeah, that's even worse. I think it's like 8 or
With
12.
their
or
size for
something.
a cat, that makes them tiny.
Yeah. So
I think
I think it's
they're
like 12 per square at that point, and that's just ridiculous.
But
You
even
get
at large,
stupid
am I
amounts of
only as
damage.
big as like a horse or something?
Yeah, large. Yeah, but that's 4 squares.
Mm. I always imagine myself a lot bigger at large because I'm a dragon. But
Yeah, but that's your neck and tail
mm.
hang over the end, hang
Yeah.
over the edge.
Okay, so that will work for one for the moment.
Mm.
Thing to hold it down.
Mm.
But if you think of it this way,
So is this a picture of the creature?
Well, that's a picture of what Jeremy's got at this stage for the
Oh.
moment.
right?
Okay, so
Yeah, we'll do it till I get
if you
something.
want to,
Yeah.
if you want to give me the cover the base stats like AC, hit points, etc., I can note it down for next time.
Yeah.
Well, it's got 13 AC and 95 hit points.
Oh,
13, 85. No
Yeah.
problem.
Okay.
Ariadne.
First of the two attacking your
Yeah.
one
If you
does
think
hit
of
it,
yourself as a 2 by 2 square.
doing 4 points of damage
Your
to
attack,
Elxie.
melee attack range is 2 squares
Okay.
out from that.
Yeah, because of
So you're actually this big.
Yeah.
From
And
a,
then the,
I want to hit things to be hit.
claw attack against it
yeah, it makes it
is a natural 20,
advantageous.
Yes.
That'll probably hurt.
Yeah.
doing minimum damage, so it does
Ooh,
6
the
damage.
20's flashing there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ouch.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
The
fail.
concept of a dragon with puppy
And then the second one attacking Elkskin gets a hit,
So
doing 6 damage.
Elkskin's getting
And then it claws, definitely hitting on the claw.
wow. So just because I made my 6 fly in different directions doesn't mean they're not dangerous.
That's right.
Doing 3 damage.
Yeah.
So
Damage?
19 points of damage in one round onto Elkskin, and 6 damage
Yep.
onto Dracman.
Mm. Poor Elkskin.
Mm.
Which came from his temporary hit points. So,
How many hit points does he have all up?
100 odd?
Dracnima.
No, Elkskin.
Oh, he started at 95.
Oh, okay. So
So,
He's certainly been
he's a
wounded,
bit
but
of a tank.
so 5 people you can see: Calcrick, Elkskin, Dracman,
Harkin.
Harkin, Drazzle, but not Drazzle's horse.
Drazzle's horse doesn't need it.
What kind of just out of curiosity, what kind of hit points does Horse have?
Well, you've never seen him hurt.
that's all right.
Yeah, he's very hard to hit.
I'm guessing that is you don't get to know.
Let's face it, Draggle's not normally involved in battle. No, not normally a
Yes.
target.
Okay, so apparently while attacking Elkskin, they seem to have annoyed Horse, and Horse leans its head forward and swallows one.
At level 9, I got 148.
Yeah, plus 12 from me.
Yeah,
Yeah. So whack tons.
yeah. I'd have even more at 11. Well, several
Yeah.
more at 11, so
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, Harkin's got a lot less than that.
Yeah.
He's
And-
a combatant,
Manages to attack a second one, and so it swallows the two attacking Elkskin. Yeah.
So Horse gets annoyed that Elkskin's been attacked and pretty much just has lunch.
yeah.
Or maybe brunch?
Well, you did know that stable hands would go missing if they were warned.
Mm. So what's the plus 12 that you add to people? Is that
It's
specific?
temporary
They've
hit
got
points,
that guy,
and that's
so they're
because
fairly
I have an
decent.
ability as a celestial warlock to basically bathe celestial radiance over people and give them extra hit points.
So it is now
Is it
Llewell's turn.
twice? Yes?
If I could see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just writing down the extra 12 hit points and the rules around them so that
Yeah.
I'm aware of them.
Yes.
So yes, Llewell, you look down and realize that down looks different. You look up, you also see up looks different. You look to the left and right, and each looks different. You seem to see a different version of the land below you, whichever direction you look.
I would
It's
like to
the
point out
Feywild.
I
Actually,
now no longer have those 12 extra hit points because you can't see me.
No, it was at the start of
at the start.
right, okay.
When I complete a short or long rest, 5 people I can see
Ah,
at that point
point. Okay.
get those temporary hit points until they wear out.
And then in one of the directions you see it's like,
You see what?
It's like
and-
poof of something going.
and then you get this faint crackle in the distance.
Okay.
Move over here, I'll pay.
I'll reduce altitude again to see if I'm still over here rather than over there.
So you fly towards the poof.
I'm going to fly down.
Well, looking every direction.
Okay, what is down at the moment?
Every direction is down.
I'll go towards the poof then.
Okay. You can feel the gravity in every direction.
Gravity
Excellent.
in every direction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That sounds
it's
painful.
it's down in everywhere I've looked. I'm looking downwards in all directions.
Which is part of the reason why your familiar had a lot of trouble telling what was down.
Yeah. So look down. Yeah, which one?
Says I can't see anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't even see the party.
Yeah. Which one do you want me to look at? Oh.
Okay, so dropping down, you see eventually see Calcrix surrounded by a circle of grass bent all around her, away from her,
Okay. Yeah, I've seen
And-
that sort of spell effect.
and managed to land in front of Drachnamir.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just giving.
And at which
Briefly
point you
cut
remember the
rats.
warnings of flying in the Isle of Dread.
Yeah. Yes, I shouldn't
At least there were no pterodactyls.
Yeah, well, I didn't go up that high. But obviously high enough for someone to play silly buggers with it.
Well, you do know that flying ships don't come here.
Yeah, for good reason.
So we see Lure Land.
You see Luell appear out of nowhere and then.
Yep.
And then you also see that on top of Drachnamir are two cat-sized
Small critters.
small critters attacking him.
Also, two survivals.
Two were on Drachnamir, not on Elkskin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yep.
Well, they were close enough to Elkskin to provide pack tactics.
Yeah, I was hoping there wasn't that and expecting that there was.
Well, the first one didn't get the advantage, but all the others did.
Yes. Because they do. On the premise that Drachnamir's tough and pretty good at this stuff, I'm going to leave those for the moment. Look around to see if there's anything else that needs zapping, shooting, or whatever.
Having a look around, you notice the tail of one of them disappearing into a horse's mouth.
So I'm not going to worry about that one very much.
Horse has a very content look on his
Save it.
face.
What was that, Jeremy?
You could save it.
Revivify.
You could try and save
Why?
it.
You'd say you had Revivify for free.
No, I don't have it for free. I've got it as a ritual.
Oh, yeah.
No, it costs money, quite a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it on a small critter that's attacking us.
He looks happy.
I think he is. He's like, I don't want to be picked up. You picked me up. Now I'm getting scratches alike.
Yes. I'm up. I will deal. Poor little put-upon cat.
Likes it when you scratch him under the ruff.
Oh, yeah. Not complaining about that in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Is there any more in the grass that I could see?
You can see
detect.
a couple of them lying, twitching, and a couple of them where they're lying in
Poor
pieces.
things. Calcrix doesn't like being a
So-
bully.
They were the ones being bullied.
Yeah, I know. And
Well-
I know that they were dangerous, but, you
Well,
know.
you didn't bully them. You stopped them. Okay.
And,
some
and
of them
you
bits
chose to
bits.
do it when they were in attack range, not just going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
snap, you're dead.
And she
which I
understands
can
that.
do.
But there's just a part of her that's like, oh, poor things.
Yeah.
To be honest, look, if she wasn't like that, she'd be a very mean dragon. So
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a nice guy. Otherwise, I'd shoot things at 100 yards for fun because I can.
so
And bullying things by going 10 foot this way, 10 foot that way, 10 foot this way, 10 foot that way.
Oh, look, there's a cliff 10 foot that way.
Yeah.
so is
But no,
Dracula
just
now
pull it back and
patiently
forth.
waiting to deal with his
Yeah.
two?
So
Um,
Noel has landed and noticed
Okay.
that there doesn't seem to be any left standing.
Yeah. Well, I'm spending my action looking around. It's going to take me the whole action to do so. So I don't get an attack this round. So.
Okay, and you're also getting a swirling of things around you
Really?
from your familiar
You had to
until it
fart.
pops into above you. It wasn't flying with you at the time.
No. Oh, good. You're back.
You
On
have
the
a
shoulder
feeling
and stay there.
it almost went the wrong way.
Oh.
Ah,
Good thing you got him back.
yeah. Good thing he's got really good eyesight.
Mm.
So you sort of realise that you look where you go, and it may have actually have been different times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to be careful.
Yeah. Feywild is it's a more place to be.
Showing the same spot in many different timelines.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we're now on to Dracnomir, who has two annoyances on top of him.
Yeah, okay. Well, if he's got two on him at the present time,
Is this the equivalent of you like flick them off, or
I'm just looking up.
are they more dangerous than
what he's
that?
going to do is jump off Elston to walk the front, so therefore he can effectively, like a horse can be protected behind, and Dracula can be protected from the front.
Yes.
Obviously covering flanks as much as possible, and he will try and roar his Makutu, which I think will then take up his action. But yes, maybe when he jumps off and strikes them, they might fall off and be part of that process.
Yeah.
Well, technically they are on top of you, so I will give them a Constitution, no dexterity saving throw. Apparently they're both very dexterous and are still on top of you with their claws as you jump off.
All good. I wasn't actually expecting to take them off, but
Yes.
But as you land, you feel the antlers of Alkskin brush against you as one of them just is missing its top half.
okay.
That's right. He'll grow it back next year.
The dragon
And
or
that-
elk skin?
Um,
The
Do you want
dinosaur?
me to note
well, it
down?
depends if the dinosaur's missing half of it. That's a
Yeah.
hell of a piece of work.
That's
attack
the
and
dinosaur.
damage
Yeah.
numbers?
Okay.
Well, he is such a larger creature that he can pretty much swallow it.
And we've established elk skin is not actually an elk.
Oh, he is. He's just a walking big one.
He's wearing the skin of an elk.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
And then with a hoof, he crushes one in its hoof.
Yeah, that's to be
Right.
expected.
Yes.
Apparently you moved in front of your mount, which gave it plenty of opportunity to retaliate.
There you go.
Hmm.
I was going to say, is that end of combat there?
Hmm.
Trying
That
to,
is end of combat.
because Calcrix is very aware that Thunderwave can be heard for 300 odd feet. So
Yeah. No, it's on there.
As you still hear it echo around. It's actually louder for Lowell now that he's back on the
yeah.
ground.
So
It's
so
an explosion. Yeah.
has that 300 foot sort of Thunderwave
It's only 100 yards.
attracted any attention?
Well, you see up above, there's a ripple in the sky.
Okay, alright. But no other things seem to be coming.
Well,
Did you want more plain ones in there?
that's
Jack
right.
Newell
I
is
just eat them first.
investigating some of the remains to work out what the creature was.
Yeah.
Did any of them run off after being knocked out by the thunderwave, hopefully?
No, the thunder wave was powerful enough to take them all out.
Right,
Oh.
okay.
That was the intention.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a couple of them critically failed and definitely didn't make it back.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what you get for having a good casting.
I
Yep.
did think they were bigger than that, but, you know, I'm
Bet-
glad that
Better preparing for big than.
better dealt with than not.
Well, it could have been worse. You could have done thunder wave. The grass goes down and you see all the predators standing unharmed going, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much. I might take the opportunity to make a quick trip to the bathroom.
Yep.
Hopefully we're not in combat mode.
Okay, so yes, you seem to have, looking at what appears to be the size of a large turkey,
Mm-hmm.
but with claws and teeth, showing it to be
Yeah.
quite the predator.
A long tail.
Yeah.
So the velociraptors.
Yeah. Literally.
Yep. Yeah.
You seem to all pass through their breeding grounds.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably why most of the people who carry tar through here run very fast.
Yes. Well, if we'd known that, we'd have moved faster. But yeah.
Well, you hadn't seen a threat, and
True.
running fast into a threat or moving with caution ready for a threat are two different things.
Yes. And I know. Some,
And particularly when Jack Nimmer's still concerned about a much bigger threat.
yes. Yes. I know some druids, rangers, and barbarians who would go and find their nests and recruit the young ones and feed them up and use them as a hunting pack.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually isn't that bad an idea, but we've got a war on.
Well, you could have your unit of baby animals helping you win the war.
That's true. In fact, I could get some of my followers to back us up on this and come and get them.
Okay, so you continue. You
After having had a look at the carcasses and confirmed that, okay, unlikely to be poisonous or anything like that, Jack Nimmer will then effectively bind the wounds for Elkin.
Yeah.
you bind the wound for Elspeth. Elspeth doesn't seem too worried by it.
Mm-hmm.
And you get yourselves back up and continue moving along the path.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily for you, you have a good idea of where you're heading, so you've got your landmark in the direction you wanted to go. Which means when you pass through things, it's a lot easier to say, am I still going in the same direction?
Yep.
Well, and I mean, at this stage, we're still following at least a rough trail, and the path is either forward or backward.
Mm.
Okay, so it doesn't take you too long, but as you're approaching sunset, you can actually see the tar fields ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
You get another hour or two after you reach the tar pits before it becomes night. And you see the bellowing of a large creature.
Mm-hmm.
The shelter is going to continue after the tar pit. I don't see any reason to push beyond the tar pit this evening.
So as you get the tar pits in sight, you see the bellowing of a large creature coming from it.
Mm-hmm. It
So
sounds
what
like
was the line
it's
sorry?
in distress. I
It
take
does
it.
sound like it's in distress.
Time for a handy rescue.
Okay, so as you close in, you see a bunch of 6 tribal warriors standing near the tar pit with a large three-horned creature in the pit itself,
Mm-hmm.
with several spears jutting out of its backside.
Yes, I wouldn't want to be attacking the front of that sucker.
And does it appear to be trapped in the top pit at the moment?
It appears to be trapped in the tar pit.
And are the tribe people attacking it by throwing spears, or are they?
Well, you think they've already thrown their
waiting for it to
spears?
die?
You believe they've already thrown their
Right.
spears?
Mm.
You
They
believe
don't- I
they
mean, look, have they got any more weapons left that they're still trying to attack it?
They do
Or
not
they're
have any-
effectively
so they
waiting for it to die?
they do not have any weapons left.
Okay.
Mm.
Back will certainly urge Elstrom forward past today to and call out to the tribesmen saying that confirm their current situation as to whether or not they're A, trying to kill it, B, trying to get it out of their target, they want to actually raise,
Yeah.
be happy for it to ground in the target, what their intent is.
Okay. Give me a negotiation roll as you close in.
Persuasion of 29.
29. Okay. They seem quite happy with you showing up
sitting here
to.
Yeah.
Well, he was sitting up before being you.
Did he do anything on my behalf?
Looked indifferent and then sat down.
I guess I'm standing for now. It's all good.
So they greet you, fellow tribesmen,
Mm-hmm.
and say they're here trying to get meat for the villagers
Yep.
and have chased it to the pits.
Right.
Before we left the area, can I have collected our 6 dead dinosaurs?
You can.
Okay.
But you could probably get about 5 in total because of the squishiness of the rest.
That's fine. Can I collect the 5?
Mm-hmm.
And upon them saying that we need meat, can I offer them my 5 little dinosaurs?
You could, but that's a little bit. That's like offering someone a chicken, or they could have the equivalent of an
horse.
elephant. Because they
There's
Maybe
got a
it's still-
Triceratops
They
available at the moment.
could still use it for rations as they hunt down their
they
meat.
do thank you for
Meat
it,
is right here.
but they're here getting meat for the
Yeah,
village.
no, that's fine.
Mm.
I just figure waste not, want not.
Yes.
They will use it for rations, they say.
Are we willing to
Right.
help them do something about this? Quickly, they've got
So at this stage, they're just waiting for the creature to stop, or are they concerned it'll head into the tar pit? They won't be able to recover their food, or
They are concerned that it may fall into the tar pit. They are concerned it may make its way out of the tar pit and trample them because it's got all their weapons in its butt.
Yeah.
Would we like to help them with the hunt?
They would appreciate the help of such a skillful tribesman to take these non-believers into the island.
Yes.
we
Well, of
will.
course.
Okay.
Generating
If
local
nothing else,
reputation is useful.
Jack Dimmock's happy to shoot the thing to effectively start putting it out of misery, and then we'll work out exactly how to try and pull it out of the tar pit again. But
Can we just
No
scare
problem.
it out of the tar pit under its own thing and then put it out of its misery?
Well, they're worried about it.
well, no, because then it's likely to trample. If it gets unlikely to get out of the tar pit under its own steam anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah, because all its struggles are going to make it worse.
Mm.
However,
And if it did get out, then that's when it becomes dangerous again. So
yes.
We could
Now-
possibly dimension door it or something similar.
Oh, I could certainly dimension door it, but if I hit it with my Eldritch Blast and use the Eldritch Tentacle effect, which draws it towards me, it may not necessarily pull it out of the tar, but it's not going to get any worse.
Or Mage Hand, yeah. We've got options.
Yeah,
We'll-
Mage Hand
Or
Mage Hand will only
or it
do
might
20
drag you
damage.
into the
Or
tar.
5 damage. No, the specific things doesn't say it gets closer to you, it moves towards you. So,
Is there any limit on the size or mass of that thing that you can drag towards you?
no. Nope. There's
So
no.
if he hits the moon, he can pull the moon closer to him. As long as the moon's a creature.
Yeah, potentially. Although a GM could quite happily go, it's larger than you, it's not moving 10 feet.
Yep, only
Well,
if you do that,
That's what I'm thinking. You might move to it.
if you do that though, you risk angering
Dracula will.
Lots of people.
millions of little yellow people who love bananas.
That's true.
But anyway, Dracula will line up a shot
Way.
and try and effectively put a shot before a guy into the range, try and put out a big quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Eldritch Blast time plus whatever Drachnamir is going to do.
Mm. Well, since he's the
Uh,
honoured tribesman,
I'll let him go first.
yeah, I figure let him do his thing first and only
Yes.
help out if he needs it.
Yep. Or if he says,
Or if
aid
he
me.
asks.
AC 30.
AC 30. AC 30
Wow.
is definitely a good hit. Roll for damage.
That puts him in crit range, doesn't it? Yep.
Like 20, 25. 29 is the base damage. Oh, hang on, sorry.
You missed an extra bit.
29. 38 is the base damage.
Ouch.
Wow. I'm getting all your D10s
So how
out.
much did you say? 39, 30,
38.
30. Okay, so you do manage to get your arrow into its eye, into its brain, and it's still twitching. But it does look fairly messed up with the arrow shaft sticking out of the side of its head, where the eye used to be.
Right. I suddenly image that. Oh, hang on. These other things. Oh, no, that's right. No, the extra Wednesday night group is dealing with creatures with very bad brains in their head.
Yeah.
Or not only in their head.
Yes. On the other, well, even if the brain's not the head, you're still whacking him at the sensory clusters.
Oh, yeah, no, that
Oh, yeah.
Just, when Martin was describing, you put it through the brain and it's still twitching, I thought, hang on. Oh, no, that's a different one. So,
Okay.
I did have them where they shot it in the head and had no effect.
Yeah. Do note too, by the way, a Triceratops does have a brain about the size of an orange. It's a small target.
but anyway, then Dracula will
There's a
immediately
damage die for
be
you.
drawing another arrow and preparing to shoot again.
Yep.
But he's only got one attack around, so.
Okay, so who wishes to go next? Calcrix or Llewellyn?
Luol sounded like he had plans, so I'm happy for him to.
I've already got my rod out, ready to back up our esteemed tribesman and boss, apparently, at least according to the locals.
Well, they do see him as a native still.
Exactly. So, yep, he's first, and
I didn't want to deprive him of rolling all those dice.
that's fair.
It's the kind of thing that makes you happy.
It does. Ouchie, what am I adding? That's what I'm adding. Brain hurt. 30. I get that too.
Okay, so you hit it quite clearly.
Yep. For holy smeg. I got 3 9s in here. Quite apart from everything else. 27, 32, 34, and 42.
Is that 42 total?
42 total.
From a base attack? Or from the...
That's without the crit.
That's without the crit.
Yeah. What's the effect of the crit again?
That is...
What, max damage or...
You see it as it happens.
Right.
Okay, so you hit it with your blast, as you see big chunks of it go flying in different directions.
Well, hopefully they're big enough that they
Don't
can be
waste the
collected.
Yeah. Pardon? What was that, Jeremy?
Don't waste the meat.
I hit it in the skull. It's
The
only
whole
bits
point
of...
is you get arrows, which it's not going to... It's all still there.
The brains are the good part. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I hit it in the head. It's only bits of head coming off.
You see parts of its skull have gone quite the distance.
Just boop.
There's no head left.
Okay, that was a bit better than I was expecting.
Maybe you can use your familiars in that
So
to gain
you took it to negative 78 hit points.
Oh,
If you had taken it
it
to...
had bugger all left, didn't it?
I was
Well,
going
it
to
had
say, you
6
almost
points left when you
disintegrated
hit
it.
Bloody hell.
If you took it to negative, its total hit points, there would have been nothing left.
Yeah. Ah. Ow. Yeah.
And there's nothing for it to grasp onto at
What
this
did you
point.
waste that for?
Because what you hit got exploded.
So it's going to be a little bit of work to get it out of there.
And no horns to grab onto.
Yeah, we're going to have to try and drag it out by the tail or the front foot or something.
What has it got, a grapnel?
I've got
Sure.
grasping vines and things like that. Maybe I can use that to pull it out of the tar pit.
Well, we've got
Okay.
we've got two. Well, we've got 3 mounts,
Mm.
and however strong you are
Mm.
to drag it out, we have rope. We can do this.
But you
Apparently a lot-
exploded
a lot
the
less
head, you get to
Triceratops
collect
now.
the bits for the tribes people to make
Hey.
use of.
Certainly.
They might like to make necklaces and things out of its teeth and horns and stuff.
Here's the horns.
Mm.
Yeah. I put actually I can't. I didn't get all 3. One of them is stuck in that tree.
The only problem with some of the spells is it
Oh.
requires it to be a creature to attack.
Well, you do not go hunting.
Why?
Drachnima's
You gotta end up with
upset
your
over
dog.
the waste of meat.
Hey, I normally don't explode them like that. I just I hit it on a weak point that you made with the arrow. I think I hit exactly where your arrow went. It's a good target
You're
point.
just very, very good at what you do.
Yes. I've got 3 of them around.
And that was one.
That was just one.
Right, so we'll work on pulling it out of the tar pit. now.
Okay, so
Oh,
that
sorry.
will,
I do get 4.
so that will be an athletics roll by Drachnemy to a range.
Okay, so Drachnima's doing the athletics roll with the combined help of all the creatures, the mounts and calcrits, I
Yep,
guess?
so give him advantage in trying to do so.
Okay.
Okay. First roll pretty good, so I won't make much difference. The second roll was a 1, so we'll go with the first roll of 17, which is
Yeah.
athletic of 25.
Okay, it takes you about an hour, but you do manage to pull it out of the tar pits. Realizing that a lot of magic will not affect it anymore.
Yeah.
Because a dead creature is no longer considered a creature for target of spells.
Mm.
Exactly. But now it's good for cooking spells.
Well, grasping vine arguably
Well, what's
might
the
grab
rest
it,
of it?
but yeah.
If it will grab an object, it will grab a dead creature.
Yeah, it will grab an object, so yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of the few that I'd have that might
The,
work.
the important concern is if it takes an hour or so to get it out there, do we get it out in time before the shelters appear and or just close up?
As far as you know, they haven't appeared yet, and the sun's still closing to the horizon.
So we've got time.
Okay.
Yes.
We shall
Yeah.
help them pack it all up then and get to a shelter.
I'll have to slice and dice it up.
Okay, they start dragging it to the
Yeah.
edge of the forest near the tar pits.
Mm.
Yep.
As they're dragging it that direction, you can sort of see a circle of trees there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So slowly forming as this
Sun gets
starts
closer
to
to
Drops.
the horizon. Yep.
making you realise that the circle's not there until there's actually part of the sun below the horizon.
Horizon.
Yeah.
Yep. And thus the nature
That's fair
of
enough.
Probably all gone by
Feywild.
the time the sun is
Yes.
below the horizon.
Yeah, so at least this part of the Feywild.
Alrighty.
Do you think it's an overlapping Feywild, not the actual Feywild?
Exactly. As I said, the whole island is a Feywild portal.
Mm.
There is going to be places on this island you can step into the actual Feywild.
And
You
believe
may
it-
not notice.
You believe at night it probably is the Feywild.
Yeah, almost definitely.
And it's
It's
where
more Fey in the
presumably
dark.
Rum and Lani are right now.
Yes.
They probably took that step.
Mm.
Or they rolled in their sleep.
Okay, so yes, with the help of you, the tribesmen managed to pull the carcass into the area as it starts to close up.
Yep.
But they do tell Drachnamir that as long as you're approaching it, he won't fully close.
Right.
But if,
Okay.
but if you look away, it will close.
Yeah, so you've got to be looking
Yes.
at it and intending to get to it, and you will get to it. But if you get distracted
You
and
won't.
you look away, you're going to be in trouble.
Because intent is everything here.
Yes.
So if you notice one of your allies looking away and you're behind them, you keep looking towards it, you grab them and push them.
Yes.
Which is what I did, I think, with Drum the night before, the sunset before.
And it would explain how Druzzle was able to keep it open.
Mm.
Yeah.
But they don't tell everyone that.
No, well, it's good to know. It's good to have it confirmed.
Okay, so yes, you make it into the area as it slowly closes around you. You do realise that it always seems to be just big enough to cater for all of you laying down.
The people?
Yep.
No matter how many of you there are, or
Yes.
what you've taken with you, it's
Mm.
always just the right size.
Mm.
Yep. It's basically equivalent to the
Mm.
camping dome that I do, except it's natural.
Yeah.
And expands.
It accommodates. It's the refuge of requirement.
Yes. Yes, which my thing does not do.
Well, certainly Drachnamir will take the opportunity to talk with the tribesmen during the evening
Yep.
to inquire as to, okay, yep, how their trip's been going, what their plans are for trying to, going to try and transport tar back, or just the meat this time, or
They say that
What's the-
this is a food run because the tribesmen can't exist on just fish, especially
Right.
considering sometimes the fish eat the fishermen.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
A
they
bit self-defeating.
do have a monthly hunt to get the enough meat to trade to the rest of the region.
Right.
So those who are brave enough to fish get some other sort of protein instead of just the what they can reclaim from the ocean.
Yes.
but so how many of the tribesmen are actually still around at the moment?
6 of them.
Six, right. And they haven't lost anyone so far on their hunting trip?
They said that they set out with 12.
I asked them if they've seen our good friends and described Lani and Brumdrum.
They say no, they've not seen anyone that looks like that. Though they may be ahead or behind you in the forest,
Mm.
depending on what they did or what promises they made.
Drachnamir will also inquire as to whether or not they've seen or heard or any sightings or evidence of significantly larger creatures than normal on their hunt, i.e. mountainside.
Yes.
Well, they do believe that the island itself is sentient
Right.
because their belief structure is to look after the island as well as the flora and fauna and only take what they need.
That's fair.
And those that are lost in the
Um,
taking help nourish the island.
So Jack, they're all going to be very interested in trying to gain more information about the myths and legends of the island itself.
Yep.
And yeah,
They do talk of the spirit of
certainly
the
that was his
island,
plan.
so that they do speak of the.
Sorry, I missed that.
They do say that the main myth of the island is a creature called Dread.
Okay.
And what can they tell us about Dread?
Not much, because most people don't return after meeting with it.
So,
They're not sure if it is a entity or the island itself.
So it's generically dreadful.
So the what is the myth?
The myth is that do not displease Dread, because Dread will come and take you.
Okay, so it's like a ghost that steals people type evil?
Well, in
Well,
many
remember,
forms.
Telquist was there when the Tarak awoke that turned out to be the island in the middle of the inland sea.
Yeah, I understand that, but
So, yeah.
trying to figure
Telquist
out.
is well aware of the idea of an island that is actually a creature.
Yeah.
Although this island is significantly bigger than the island in the middle of that inland sea.
I guess what I was trying to determine was any kind of lore or knowledge that might be helpful in regards to possibly the Titan or connecting this Dread to being a Titan.
Yeah.
I guess.
Most
So-
of what they say is about only killing when in need, not just for the sake of killing.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because wanton slaughter generally leads to tales of caution, they say.
Fair enough.
Not that they can explain what deals with them or makes such creatures disappear.
I don't want to be a cautionary tale, so I will take heed of that.
Okay.
And not
Yes.
that I was a
Jack
wanton
Nibble was
killer
already quite well
anyway.
aware of that, which
Much.
is why he was hoping that some of the Velociraptors had got away. He was a bit disappointed, a bit disheartened when he realised they all got caught.
Yeah.
So, and acquired his intent to try and kill the Triceratops as smoothly and as painlessly as possible, but still not wasting the meat.
Mm.
Yes.
Required him to have to potentially kill a second one.
But you have managed to get yourself a nice place of comfort as darkness falls around you.
Yeah.
They do cook up the little velociraptors.
Yeah, well, I figured they'd
Hmm.
make a good ration because I didn't want to waste the supply.
Mm.
Even though the area is domed, it doesn't seem to keep smoking,
Which is great.
Well, that, yeah,
which you would not expect for the way it's domed.
Yes.
oxygen, breathing, all good things.
And we can make sure food is spiced. It tastes good.
So,
You saying that you suggest that the Cypher can't cook?
No. I'm saying that spices can always improve a meal. Plus, I'm good at it because I'm actually proficient in culinary tools.
Okay.
So
One
I
of
make a
the-
good result.
Right.
As you mentioned, that the tribesmen offer to let you do the cooking and show
I will
show
do
your
that.
skills.
Yes.
is this going to require your roll, or
Yes,
is
it
this
does.
just
It
a?
does. It's a skill check.
You
If
just
you
get-
cook poorly, You're going to have to be resilient to their ridicule.
Well, it's not going
How
to
often have you cooked Velociraptor before?
be. This will make once, but once they've been plucked, they can't be too different to chicken.
No, I imagine not.
Turkey.
They'd be a bit
Turkey.
spicy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, probably a little bit more challenging to cook than chicken, but
yeah.
not too much more.
Yes. Well, they're both omnivores, so it's not going to be the same as some things, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. I'll go with that anyway. That would do that. 24.
Okay, you prepare a feast with the 5 velociraptors, and you find it to be quite a nice smell.
You managed to
Mhm.
forage some things to go with it.
Oh, I could actually beef it up as well, but yeah, I'm not going to right now. But yeah, it's got some herbs and some tubers
Secret spices.
and several secret spices
Special
because one of prestidigitation's effects is flavouring food.
Food, yeah. I was just looking at that.
So I can put on. Well, it's definitely going to be things they've never tasted before.
But they enjoy.
Well, they will, because I'm friggin' good at this stuff.
And I was going to say, just like another famous cook, you swear. Friggin', instead of the other one.
Yeah.
So yes, you do make this amazing meal for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough for people to come back for seconds, but no one's left anything behind.
No.
Yeah, that's always a successful meal in my books.
Yes. Yes. I have to cheat for breakfast. But
So I gather.
And you find it quite an unusual taste.
Mm.
You realise that your magical flavouring went awry.
In what way?
It wasn't the flavour he was expecting.
It's
Oh,
still
okay.
good.
It's just like has a sort of miraculous taste to it that you don't think you could ever replicate. You don't know what it did.
Feywild.
Yeah, well, I've got Feywild sparkles in it.
Mm.
It was interesting.
So I guess the
I
question.
would like to be able to do it again, and it ain't happening.
You just have to memorize. You know, take a
Visualize
moment, be
that
mindful,
flavour.
so that you can remember it.
Hmm.
That's when mindful eating comes in.
Yes.
The question is though, do we spend a relatively restful night, or does Drachnima toss and turn because he did not answer the question today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you bed down for the
Yeah.
night,
Okay. There was no answer required because it was required. The question was, how are you going to challenge the Titan?
That sounds like a question that requires an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Some
It
sort-
requires action,
Yeah.
not answer. And at this stage,
The answer is I'm not.
He's actually. No. The point is, he has been conducting the questioning right now in that he's finding more out about the challenge.
Mm.
Having found out more about the fact that the Titan is the island
Mm.
and stuff, even if he could challenge it with the intent of kill, which obviously he wasn't planning to, couldn't do.
No.
He wouldn't want that because obviously that destroys the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what he will do during the evening will be putting up a prayer of healing, just so therefore any of the tribesmen that might be injured, because presumably if they've lost half their folk already, the others might not be entirely healthy.
they do show
And,
signs of marks
Do-
and having fought.
Do they accept cookies for dessert?
They do accept cookies.
Well, there you go. That'll help too.
So the intent will be to effectively provide healing for anyone who's currently wounded, including Elskin.
Yeah.
So, and ensure that people are feeling better by morning.
And as you dream overnight, even with our elf who rarely dreams,
During my 4 hours reverie, it can still happen.
as I
It's
said, it rarely dreams.
yeah, it's equivalent to dozing. So yeah.
You do get a vision of the island as if it is shown over time, and it being the birthplace of most of the Titans.
Oh. Well, no, that's a nice bit of extra history.
Titan mother or Titan
And
nest?
Dread is the thing that gave birth to all the Titans.
Of course, it's called Dread.
Yes. Would also have the name Echidna.
Mm.
Because that's
The
Mother of Demons.
yeah.
Or Rhea, actually, Mother of the Titans.
As it's not the parent of the Titan, that's what gave birth to them. They would,
Yeah, not
the-
necessarily the
They're
same
created
thing,
from
that's true.
the Titans were left here to grow.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So it's like the nesting
So
ground
not
of
Echidna
Titans.
at all.
It could still be. Well, yeah, there's not Rhea though.
It's also the
Right.
nesting place of all the existing Titans.
Ah,
How many Titans are there?
Quite a few.
potentially lots.
Well, we've seen 4 so far. We've known of 4 so far. So.
I get the impression there's at least 12.
And there is and the Kraken is still here.
Ah, yeah, that's something to worry about.
Well, the Elder Kraken, at least. The one
Yes.
that all the Krakens are descendant of.
I
It
thought there was
doesn't
only
make me
one
feel better.
Kraken, but okay. Good to know. I'm
Yeah.
filing away that kind of information, I guess.
Yeah.
More than one Kraken.
And that most Titans have children that are still developing for when the parents eventually fall.
Yes. The Titans are the epitome of whatever they happen to be.
Mm.
And
But
really,
are not unique.
and really are they left to chance to survive because the world needs them.
Yes, like what we're doing with them.
What are we doing with them?
Using them as magical tools.
Well, to shut down the Master.
Yes. To get the stuff
The
we need
Master
to
seems
get
to
Oh,
be
we
using them
certainly-
too, though.
Took advantage of one that held back the Master, and took advantage of its attack to cause additional damage to the Master.
Yes, but everything that we're doing at the moment is against the Master, and we're using the Titans to enable us to do what we're doing.
Mm.
Or at least we're interacting with the Titans, and their existence is helping us.
And so what you'll figure out is that the Isle of Dread is also a major wellspring of earth or matter.
It would have to be if it's birthing Titans. Well, at least it's not entropy. That would be bad.
Mm.
Which is also why it's connected to the Feywild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense as well.
Because those two go together.
Yes. Yes. Wood elves are basically earth elemental from memory. Or earth element, sorry.
Yeah, earth element, yes.
Yeah.
But it also has portals to all 5 elemental zones.
Given what it is, I'm not entirely surprised, but that's a bit scary.
So, the undead activity that we're investigating and the portal we're investigating on
Yep.
this island is probably one of those 5 portals.
Yeah, because if there's 5, one of them is for entropy.
Yeah. Yep. Does it give us any clue where these portals are on the island?
It does not.
Okay.
It just gives you knowledge that it's there. And like most things of matter, it takes its own time to explain things to you.
Yes.
And you think it's having one conversation with you each night you're going. It's like another sentence is given to you.
Yeah. Yes. I could do a divination or possibly even a commune.
Yeah, I was just looking for if
work
I had
something up.
divination
thingy.
or commune, but
They can. It can be learned as a ritual. If you want to spend the time to put it in your ritual book,
yeah, I have to.
I can do that. I can make it available to you.
Because I definitely don't have. Well, I've looked and I don't think I have either
Yeah.
divination or commune.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because I thought I'd have at least one by now.
Yeah. Yes. Something might be worthwhile using for actually something is going to be useful for scouting
Yeah.
to go along with the existence of Drachnimere, as I've got clairvoyance as a ritual as well.
Yeah, and I was looking for some kind of spell like that for looking for Lani and Brumdrum, and I don't have anything like that, so I need to
You can, yeah, I can
look into that.
I can allay to copy it from my book as well.
Dracula is also talking with the tribesmen
Yeah.
to how they're planning on transporting the meat.
Yeah.
They are looking to slice it up and each carry what they can.
Fair enough.
And most of them can carry a fair bit.
Nice. Yes.
Have they
Non-detection
got
is very much worth it.
Containers or bags or anything like that to put stuff like to be able to carry, or
They have, I probably have to say, equivalent of tarps that they fold out to wrap around and then carry with.
Yeah.
Basically, something that they can drop as
They've got
need.
leathers. Yeah.
yes, unfortunately, Dracula doesn't have anything that will particularly help except possibly a couple extra sacks that they can put stuff into, but
Yeah.
if they've already got parts that are going to be carried between two or something, then that's not going to be that much trouble, so
Well, they are able to get all the good meat off a Triceratops rather quickly, considering they are skilled with their knives. Not
Yep.
great for attacking it, but good for...
Great for breaking it up because they're really friggin' sharp. Yeah.
no. And particularly since there's only half it left.
Yeah. Actually, legend law would be nice. Set up with so much bloody items for this.
Okay, so
And obviously, yeah, we'll let them know that, hey, there are unfortunately less of the turkey creatures, but that could make the journey back a little safer.
Well,
Yes.
normally they say they leave an offering of fresh meat for them as they pass through.
well,
Yeah.
if they don't eat all of the little dinosaurs, they could use the little dinosaurs for that.
They would feel it sad to feed the little dinosaurs to the little dinosaurs.
That's right.
That's
You're not encouraged
sort of
to be.
fair enough.
Calcrix is
But they're happy to feed some of the Triceratops
There you
to the dinosaurs as they pass.
Mm.
Considering they ate all 5 of them that you had recovered. The night
Fair
before.
enough.
And particularly since they're probably more than they can all carry right now anyway, so it's
yeah. They could always collect scraps to leave for the little dinosaurs.
Yes.
Offcuts, things like that.
So
Alright.
yes,
Do we part ways in the morning?
they thank you for your assistance, offer you a basically a ration supply of Triceratops meat for you to take with you. considering they prefer to reward you for your work with them.
Yes. Plus, they can't carry all
They
the
will
picks,
be
so they might as
offering
well
them a
give
blessing
us
of
some.
their, for their case return.
Yes.
After your blessing, they say that if you're seeking things further in the island, beware of the megalithic circles.
Alright,
Right.
they sound like something we want to know a little bit more about.
Yes. What
As
are we
in
watching
Stone
out for?
Circle.
Yes. Megalith, big rock.
8 massive stones covered in runes surrounding a larger one in the center.
So there's more than one of these with 8 stones surrounding a knight.
They have stories of there being at least 5.
Yeah.
Yes. What sort of stories do they have of these?
Creatures from beyond the
Don't
stars.
go near them.
Right.
Oh, okay. That could be any one of a couple of things, but starting with aberrations and getting scarier from there.
As occasionally they light up and bring things from
They're
beyond.
stargates.
Yes. Which also,
They're flat stargates, but they're still stargates.
yeah.
They've got runes on them.
It also,
They flash.
yeah, it's also possible you can go to them as well if you know what you're doing. Which, once I've seen one, I probably will.
But that might actually be where we want to head.
Yes, which is a.
I'll kind of describe like the elements and ask them if they've ever encountered one that kind of matches entropy, and if they can kind of direct us towards it.
They do say that the outer islands are generally the gateways to other realms, with the central island being the focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
don't
yes.
have any, like obviously because the tar pits are basically the extent of their hunting ground, I'm guessing they don't have much knowledge on best passage routes to get to the mountain in the centre.
They say no one goes to the mountain in the center. They don't recommend it.
No,
Yeah,
but that doesn't
but
mean we don't have
the-
to go there.
The only people
Well,
who know
we
what,
do.
what may be there
Yeah.
are the Tiger Clan, who have ventured further into the island than anyone else.
Okay.
Which is why I spent my time with them.
Such fun.
They travel across the island on a regular basis.
Okay. Well, then having got to the end of the next morning while we were walking, where take a look ahead and finding out, okay, and try to do a bit of a
Yeah.
surveying of what we can see is to work out the best potential route, like what kind of terrain we're going to be heading over in order to between us and the mountain.
Yeah. Yes. And
And whether or not it works out that it looks like heading directly to the mountain is going to be better, or whether it's likely that, oh, hang on, we can avoid blah obstacle if
Yeah.
we head off in a slightly different direction initially and then go around to it.
Yeah.
and the only way to do that remotely safely for the scouting stuff is to basically go up a hill. Because
There are hills to the north.
Yep. Flying is just
There
bad.
is a swamp to the north
Right.
east.
Okay, northeast. Hills to the north,
There's,
swamp to the northeast.
Broken lands to the northwest
Mm.
and to the south.
So if you circle the tar pits and head north through the hills, they say that's probably the easiest way forward.
Right.
So did
It
you
looked
say
like the
circle
easiest way
the what?
initially, and
Circle the tar pits
And then head where?
north.
so basically we're going to continue vertically directly towards the mountain on the idea that the hills are probably the easiest terrain, and if nothing else,
Yeah.
will give us a lookout every so often when we get to the top of the hill to confirm our further direction.
Mm.
It'll take you. They say from here it will take you not so long to go around the tar pits as long as you stick to the swamp. If you try to go around the other side, it would take you more than a day.
Okay.
Well, looking at the tar pit, it's not small tar pits, it's one large tar pit.
And
it
it's
goes
big
for
enough to
miles.
well, I was about to say it's big enough to cover multiple hexes, but yeah, that's
Well,
a lot of hexes.
It covers, it's about 18 miles in length.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
It's a
going.
tar lake, not a tar pit.
I was about to say calling it pit is underselling it. Yeah,
Okay. Alright.
it's a lot.
Oh, good. Well, I guess we'll head off.
Yes,
Hopefully without encountering more raptors
yes.
or anything bigger.
Okay.
Although it begs the question, if raptors are only the size of a large turkey, then what was the claw that Sam Neill's character had? What did that belong to?
It was
Those-
from a larger version of the raptor.
Yeah.
in the same family.
Yes, the
Ah.
ones the ones in the movie,
Yeah.
the ones that they called Velociraptor, they're
Were-
actually a Deinonychus,
Ah, okay, yes.
and they are that big, and the claw on them is this big and a quarter
Just
circle.
incorrect name.
So it's
Yeah.
he deliberately used Velociraptor because it's easier to say correctly than
Correctly.
Deinonychus.
Yeah.
It's the only reason they're called Velociraptor.
Fair,
okay.
fair enough.
They're giant,
For the
giant
uneducated,
Velociraptors.
sounds cooler, sounds nastier.
Yes.
It does.
It resonates better with the audience.
Mm.
It's the only reason he used it. But yeah, think of a dire Velociraptor.
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's all good.
Yeah. And then you get the next one up from there, which is a Utahraptor,
No, we don't need Martins here.
which is this big at the
Yeah,
shoulder,
we're all.
which is mount
Stick to turkey
sized.
sized ones.
Mount sized.
At least until the game's over.
The Deinonychus are fun, they make good mounts.
Deinonychus is
Or at least good animal companions. I
animal
suppose.
companion or a mount for a small critter.
You did have a dwarf who wants to ride a T-Rex.
That's fair.
Yeah. Drum. That might be where he is right now, trying to catch a T-Rex, a baby one at least, to ride.
Yes, because yeah.
Okay, so you spend the day circling the tar pits.
Yep.
The smell is foul.
Yep.
You do know from your knowledge and discussion with the various tribesmen that most creatures don't come here unless forced.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I'm not surprised. It stinks, and there's probably basically no food.
Mm.
And there is a creature in the tar pits.
Huh? That is probably a titan of some sort.
Or a
Yeah, we recognize
Titan
what
precursor.
Mm.
And
Waiting.
The
Is
story,
it alive?
the stories of a creature in the tar pit
Mm.
Right.
that lives
Oh,
beneath
right,
the
right.
surface.
Well, good thing we don't intend on swimming in the tar pit, so we're fine.
Yeah, unless it happens to be like a tower elemental or something. At which point it could travel anywhere and we wouldn't see it.
We're all good.
We are. We are alert and ready to run away at the slightest provocation.
Okay, so you spend the day travelling around the pits and heading north.
Mm-hmm.
Heading into the hills itself, you start to hear a underlying hum Give me a perception roll.
25 for Dracula.
Oh, keep doing that. That's better. 14. Bloody useless.
Thank God that's empty. 19 plus perception. Is it plus 10 for perception?
Yes.
You do the 10-cent.
29 then.
You do the 10-cent handy instead.
Yeah, we do. Thank you. Sorry.
We have a bag next to the bin.
Yep. That's what I was check for when they go.
Well, technically we don't, but everyone else asks us to collect our cans and we give them to the first person who puts their hand up for them.
Okay, can I put my hand up? Because
Sure.
Christy goes insane about it. Well, let's just make sure we do. Yeah.
It means we don't have to worry about
Yeah.
stockpiling it.
That's
If
true.
you hear and the bag is full and no one else has claimed it, it's yours.
Okay.
Take it tonight.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so what was everyone perception?
So I got 29.
You got 29.
Dracula got 25. And I cannot remember what Lua got.
What was Llewell's perception? 14. He had rolled. Okay, Llewell doesn't really notice much about besides the hum.
Yeah.
The hum completely irritates Drachnimir to the point of annoyance.
Yeah.
And Calprix realizes that some of the Rakastra are here.
Some other.
Some of the Rakastra
The
are here.
Rakasta are here.
Because you can hear the sounds of their technology.
Ah. Yes.
Which is why Drachnimir doesn't understand why he really hates that sound.
Stop arguing with me. Behave.
Because you didn't spend enough time around them to actually register that that is the sound of them working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I recognise it as Rakasta
Yep.
presence,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't stop them.
No, it's up to you what you do. You
Um,
recognise that there is a something with their technology is nearby,
Okay.
to the north of you.
I tell the others that I think there are Rakasta's technology nearby.
Okay.
It might be worth looking at. Since Redrian often gets us to investigate technology,
And
this could be a short side trip to just give him a bit of extra information that might be helpful to him at some point.
or recover one of his items.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Do we see it or any other evidence of traffic or activity?
Okay, so give me a. Well, actually, you do because you did a pretty high perception. You can see that there are feline footprints heading to the north that look as if they're about a few hours old.
Right.
Do you want to follow?
Well, I mean, they're going in the same direction that we want to go at the moment.
Yeah.
Despite Drachnimir not being happy with those who are apparently Tiger Clan, even though they're not necessarily the Tiger Clan we know.
Yeah.
He also recognises that, hey, he's got to come here along with them at some point,
Mm-hmm.
apparently.
Or maybe you can learn of a.
They go the same direction we are. Is there any evidence of it, like we're seeing, like smoke or anything like that? Like
You don't see.
It's
It's starting to head towards sunset. You've got about an hour towards sunset, but you don't see any smoke to the north. You just see hills.
Okay. And is this area looking around It looks like there might be trees that might form a shelter in the Feywild.
It
As
does.
they were previously, or
It does not. This is actually a lot of bare hills
Right.
where there's very little place for something to hide. There's vegetation, there's small bushes, but nothing large.
The Rakasta might also be able to give us shelter for the night.
at this stage, we'll probably keep moving forward and follow the tracks while they're still going in the north direction.
Yeah.
But also be looking out for a decent, defensible hilltop or something like that. We might be able to be camping ground. We're not going to have shelter.
Do you continue following the tracks?
That's the third point, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing tracking stuff, so Dracnamir is the one making choices right now.
Okay, so as you watch in front of you, Dracnamir just disappears from view on Outskin.
Did he disappear as if he'd stepped into something we can't see, or is he just popped
Give
out?
me an insight roll.
Okay. Instigate. Sucky roll. Still got 21 though.
Okay, so you did manage to notice him fade from sight as if he'd walked through a illusion.
I call out, Dracnamir.
So, well, as you're doing that, Dracnamir, you've stepped into a ring of cats the size of elk skin with teeth as long as a short sword. So saber-toothed tigers. Each with, on top of them, a one of the Tiger Clan members, each holding metal sticks pointed in your direction.
How many of them?
You can see 6 of them.
If there's an obvious leader, I'll address that, but otherwise I'll basically address what we've got to do. Greet them.
Appropriate to what we're doing.
Basically, yes. Greetings from
Mushrooms.
Fairy circle around a child's
and
play. It's a trap.
Of course.
inquire if they have potential shelter for myself and my companions this evening.
Okay, so
Mean no harm.
they all greet you formally. At which point you notice that while they're pointing metal sticks in your direction, they each have metallic claws over their actual claws that move as if they're the gauntlets.
Yep.
Nice.
And that's where Llewell and Calcrich can also hear the voices of Dracnamir greeting
Right.
and being welcomed in.
Assuming they can understand Atruaghin.
Yes.
Yes.
And they welcome you in. So you may share their camp with them.
Cool. Thank you. Actually, I think we're the two who've got Atruaghin as lead.
Yeah. I've
'Cause
taken upon myself to learn a fair amount of languages.
So yes,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you step through and see what appears to be massive cats, and recognize that the metal sticks that have been pointing at Dracnamir are all some sort of mechanical contraptions.
And if they're pointing them, they're almost definitely weapons. For you.
So not the spears that Dracula you assume they were, but
No,
But yeah.
they're blunt and rear weighted, but yeah, you still don't want to mess with them. They look
No.
heavy.
No. At least we're not rolling for combat right now.
They don't want it, so they're happy to accept.
And that's when you realise that once you've stepped across the line, the annoying buzzing goes away. You think it's a deterrent.
Well, at least
Yeah,
you'll be
they-
able to sleep tonight.
Keep the bugs and animals off. That's certainly true.
As you see what appears to be a camp with tents set up around a central area.
Nice.
Excellent.
Calcrix will sketch everything she sees for Redren, as long as the Rocaster don't object.
They don't object.
Yes.
And so you were greeted. They have a what appears to be a fire pit. I will give each of you a perception roll as you're walking through camp.
Yep. I'll go with a passive perception on this one because I am looking all around. So 24.
21.
Yep. And what about tracking?
20.
Okay, each of you notice that while this looks like a simple camp, nothing here is what it seems to be.
Not entirely surprised.
The cooking fire they're using doesn't have any combustible material visible.
I don't have any wood in it.
Yes, it's not a
It's like
fire.
one of those illusion fireplaces.
Yeah, it's maybe a heating equivalent of continual flame.
And the pit itself is perfectly round.
Cool.
It's not a natural formation. Their huts, while they look to be irregular and made out of cloth, don't move with wind or breeze or touch.
Cool.
And don't feel like fabric when they're touched.
No, they feel solid.
Yeah.
And probably more like horn than anything else.
Calcrix has
we
experienced
think
this
of.
before.
They
And,
don't. They feel forged.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more plastic than metal.
Feels more metal than plastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they do feel cold to the touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Calcrix's experiences of Rocaster camps, which she's been in 2 or 3 times before, has always been that they're metal.
Yeah.
They're like little mini spaceship type things.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually vehicles as well.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
a player's point of view.
Yeah. You could look at it as kind of like a large sort of hover vehicle type deal.
And
Yeah.
the poles of the tent don't seem to be sitting on the ground. They seem to be going into the ground.
Mm.
Yes, because it's the top of the vehicle. Right.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look to be enough tents to house all of them.
Mm.
But they all seem to go into tents and disappear.
Mm.
Yes. They're doing actually very cool things.
It's bigger on
All
the
I
inside than
know-
on the outside.
Of course they are.
All I know is that the coffee's really good here, so I'm happy to.
Okay,
So-
so
Calcrix probably doesn't sleep.
They
She
say-
drinks coffee all night.
they set up some chairs around
So-
their cooking area.
Someone taught us.
Yep.
And you find the chairs comfortable, even though they look flimsy.
Cool. But everything else is
Even Drizzle doesn't seem to
So
bother
people
them.
want to be cautious sitting down initially. Because you probably did think you're going to get a half dragon than you was before. So
Yes.
start, find it,
Mm.
hold
Yep.
your weight. And obviously without the opportunity to talk to any other clansmen.
Yeah, that's a point. How much bigger is he now he's half dragon?
He doesn't look much bigger. He just looks heavier.
Right, so he's built like a brick shit house, but not a very tall one.
He is a bit taller than he was. He's probably gained about half a foot.
Yeah,
Is
he's,
Calcrix taller than him? or-
Calcrix is taller than him.
yeah,
Okay.
but he's still 2 feet shorter than me. And I'm that's the thing, I'm not actually particularly tall for an elf.
But if you look at his weight, he probably adds a 0 after your weight.
Quite possibly. Or at least he's 2 feet shorter and the same weight.
Oh, no, he looks heavier.
Okay. He's definitely brick shit house shaped.
When you look at Drazzle's built even heavier.
Yeah. Well, he's been more of it. Yeah.
Alrighty.
So they thank you for sharing the meal with them. They
Alex offers cookies.
provide you each with non-bendable plates.
Well, I'm expecting non-bendable plates, but they look like they're like this thick. I'm going to presume.
They do.
Yeah.
They're all completely uniform in shape and colour.
Okay. Like everything else.
And
I'm getting used to this.
This is your nightmare place, Dracula.
And their cutlery is...
It's all metal. Everything.
It's metal and it's a
It's a
sword.
place that, well, technically, it's not actually as bad as the dwarf gnome citadel underneath Highborn.
Yeah.
Okay, and they all eat with...
Because at least these are tribesmen, children, and he's being told that, hey, metal is something that can be bought in with hay.
Yeah.
Dracula will come on with something down.
So one thing Drachnimia does notice is while their stuff appears to be metal, it doesn't smell like the metals that you have been forbidden to touch.
That's interesting.
But certainly one of the things that Dracula will be curious about is whether or
So
not
that-
are these
Ceramental or something.
members or people who normally live in the village to the south, or
Yeah.
do they actually live out here? The campsite appears quite temporary, but obviously the structures could easily be permanent.
They do say that it is their temporary campsite. They've only been here for a couple of months, and they're using this as their search home for looking over the island.
Okay.
They are in contact with the Tiger clan to the south, which is part of their people. So that is one of their outposts.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they are here looking for a shrine of their ancestors who had hidden some of their ancestral items here to keep it out of hands of those who misuse it. But it's come a time where to save their way of life, they need to find them.
Yep. Need to get the good stuff for an existential crisis.
So they suggested that the village to the south, which apparently was the main settlement of the area by the view, you can actually get a number of their outposts, is that right?
Yeah.
Or the tiger folk who were there, the attackers who were there, actually did another outpost.
There is another outpost, they say.
Do they have any contact or communication or awareness of the Tiger clan and or the plateau?
They said the Tiger clan on the plateau follows a false god.
Uh-huh.
They prefer Bastet and a few other of the actual tiger people gods instead of one who follows the corruptor.
And was it possibly the influence of the corruptor and the clan that might have resulted in the desire to hide some of your ancestral items?
No, they were hidden from an enemy from beyond.
Okay.
They can't keep all their items in one location, lest a greater enemy find them. They help protect the skies from those that might come.
Right.
So I was trying to find the mute button before I sneezed and then sneezed.
Just as you found the button, you didn't need to use it.
Well,
That's right, yeah. Just because I got the button. Oh,
Hey.
I got the button.
it means the button worked.
Yes, you did me. You did sneeze.
They do talk
Right,
about
any
needing.
other-
They do talk about needing to find 5 control nodes on the island to allow them to find their leader, their leader stockpile.
Okay.
Yes.
And they describe them as 8 monoliths surrounding a central tall monolith.
Ah, yes, we've been told there's a collection of those.
There are 5, they say.
Right.
Just that they're not easy to find, and they need to activate them all at the same time, lest they cause other problems.
Yes, if there's 5 of them, they're going to be elemental. You don't want to activate only the one. You need to
Which
get all
would
of
be
them
why
together.
they cause problems whenever any village folk become a problem.
Yes.
Because obviously they're only affecting one at a time.
Yes, so avoid them unless you can do all at once. So,
This sounds as complex as the tomb in.
yes.
Oh, I can't remember.
And it was,
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yalaran.
and because of the distance between each of them, it requires someone with a technological advantage to be able to activate them all at the same time.
Or someone using a sending spell to
It
coordinate.
says that would not work.
No.
Really?
Because you can only send between one and another. You cannot send to 5 locations at the same time.
Time. Yep.
And all 5 must communicate
The point being,
Yeah.
to
Unless-
activate correctly.
from our
Unless,
perspective,
unless the coordinator
They need
has
magic
5
or
people with
technology.
sending and use them all at once. Or 4 people with sending because he's with one of them. You could do it.
says
It's a
you-
bugger.
It says you could try, but in most cases, magic will fail you.
Yeah. It
Well-
it requires a technological solution.
Yeah, because this island's going to affect any magic you use for that, and it's
Yeah.
going to mess the timing up.
Because of the Feywild and all that.
well,
Yes.
except of course that if they haven't found any of the 5 of them yet, it might be that all 5 of them are within 1000 metres of someone's medical cover.
Could be. They use bonfires to communicate.
Hmm.
He says they don't seem to be
But,
on the southern part of the island.
So not in the southern part of the island.
Okay. So that was the next question, was the idea of, if they're happy to describe what they've explored so far.
Hmm.
I don't know that we can give them any information they won't have, because obviously we've been travelling a route that we have been regularly travelled as far as possible, except for the last day.
Well, I said that
Uh,
there's 4 of them that they can't find. They have found 1 so far.
Right.
But they don't say where it is because they don't want you to get caught up in it.
Well, that's fair.
no, that's right. But are they happy to describe the surroundings of this location?
Oh, yes, they
Talk
do.
about
Mm.
if there's any threats or issues that we should be aware of?
They do show you a rough map saying that around you is hills. If you go to the east, you'll find yourself on a swamp and an inland lake.
Right.
Let's check and see what they say is at the inland lake.
Hmm.
They say that there are some large carnivores in a pack that lives on the western side of the lake to the east.
Okay.
They've tried to avoid that
Larger than
area.
your cat?
Enough to cause the cat problems.
Hmm. Okay.
If they go in force, they could probably deal with it, but that's not what they're here for.
Hmm.
No.
So we'll leave it alone just in case.
To the north,
No point killing the native livestock if there's no reason we're going that way. So.
Yeah.
they don't kill unless they need to.
Exactly. We're not here to kill anything unless it comes to us first.
To the north is
And then past the
the
stairway.
central jungle of the island, which is home to the mountaintop Fenanton people.
Sorry, Central
That's
Jungle.
There are people who live on the mountaintop.
They live in the jungle, not the mountaintop.
Right.
The jungle is between you and the mountain.
Right.
So in the jungle, sorry, who lives there?
The Fenanton people.
It's spelled F.
Phanaaton.
Do they describe the Phantom very well?
Yes, they look like a cross between a monkey and a raccoon.
So that's the people.
Does
we
that
met.
put
That's
them
the
very
people I met.
similar to the monkey creatures that at least some of us saw on
Yeah.
the path out?
When they describe it, it sounds exactly like them.
Yeah.
Except
So,
this seems to be their main settlement.
No,
Yes.
settlement. Yep.
so same thing, but much bigger and a lot more of them.
And there was a mountain on the other side of that jungle area.
The central
Yeah.
plateau rises up from there, to the north of the
The
jungle.
place we're going to.
Yeah. How tall is that plateau? Presuming it's pretty big.
They have not been able to measure it, but it seems to be more than 100 feet from above the level of the trees.
Right. So basically equivalent to the Atruaghin plateau.
And the only way to reach it is a suspension bridge across a ravine
Okay.
that is on the southern end of the plateau. Every other approach fails. Flight will not get you onto this plateau.
No, it won't. Slippers of spider climbing, possibly, but that's for one person.
It's as if they've not seen anything successfully scale the sides of it that doesn't belong there.
It's on the south side.
The
Yes.
suspension bridge is on the south side and it goes over a ravine. The ravine is full of overly large crocodiles. That may not be crocodiles.
Yeah.
And if you get bitten, you might become one of those overly large crocodiles. If you survive.
Yeah. That's not a change I really want for this character. Let's avoid crocodiles.
Are the Phanatons friendly if approached in a friendly manner? Or should they just be avoided? Or
Is there a way to approach them that makes them more friendly?
They have managed to communicate with them, but they are so afraid of big people that they would attack them rather than talk to them.
Well,
What if food was left as a initial gift or something?
They're very suspicious of anything they haven't gathered themselves
Okay.
because they have learnt from being trapped by others in the past.
I see. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So
are
best to
they
give
able
them.
to provide like a rough map of the surrounds and location of like on the idea of we'll just avoid them if we can go around them, or if they're not going to be in our pathway or things?
They will not hinder your travel as long as you don't try to cut down trees.
that's fair.
For them, the trees are sacred. And there's a group of he looks for the right word to not insult you. People that have devolved, he says, hunt the Fenanton as food.
Uh-huh.
Not
Because
nice.
they are easy food for them to hunt.
Well,
These
yeah.
Atruagins, I'm guessing.
He says people who have devolved.
Okay. Alright.
Or never
Are
evolved in the
they-
first place. Hard to tell.
Are they,
They're not very
are they
advanced.
still in a state of being able to communicate and
Their translators don't work on their grunts. He does not think grunt is a language. Not one he wishes to master anyway.
Fair.
Can he kind of describe them so we know what these devolved people look like?
Muscles, big forehead,
Okay, Neanderthal type
omnibrow.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you as if you think that rubbing two rocks together might create more of a spark than's behind their eyes.
Okay, so essentially we look for
So-
Neanderthals, I'm guessing.
Dumb as a box of rocks. Yeah.
And yes, they
Smart
potentially
enough
have
to trap
discovered that rubbing two rocks together can create fire.
Mm.
Yes, so that they eat things as it is, they don't cook them.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, sorry.
But that's the extent of what they've gone around them.
Yeah.
Though you will find other things in the forest that wander in there from time to time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do they indicate any areas not to go? I.e., locations where they've got their portal already and they don't find it?
Yeah.
Well, they say near the tar pits to the south, you probably wouldn't want to go near the tar pits. There's things there that will come out and get you.
Well, that's not a problem at this stage anymore. So,
The western side of the tar
Right.
pits is extremely dangerous to those without ability to defend themselves.
Mm.
We're
Would
at
we
least
fall
about
into the
that,
category of people capable of defending ourselves? Not
I
that we
don't.
want to go there.
As well, you may or may not, but he wouldn't want to put you to the test. When there is a lot less easy ways to go.
And the thing is that the more things we can avoid on the island, the less we have to kill.
Yeah, and look, I'm not saying we want to go there. I just kind of want to know. I guess is my first thought run, or do I try to defend myself?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Okay. So, how else may we be of service to such an esteemed leader of the clans, he says. The leader says.
Everybody looks at Dracula.
Right.
Halcrix is
Okay,
waiting
well,
for-
Dracula is certainly aiming to provide as much service and information as he can in return, obviously recognising that they have the advantage on available information. The sort of thing that by the end of the evening or next morning, whatever type of stuff, it's a case of it. Dracula is certainly going to help them for their purpose, and also start to make inquiries or finding out exactly, or to work out exactly where and how they actually fit into the Atruaghin clan tribal system. On the idea that, hey, are these ones who is also going to try and
Integrate.
bring into his overall new society?
So from
Probably not.
From
but
your discussions with them, they have more people in their society than the entire Atruaghin population. Even if you include most of the islanders here in your population count. But their home is, they point up to an area of the sky that has nothing in it, saying their home's up there.
what they're basically saying is, although you recognise them maybe as Tiger Clan, they're not Tiger Clan.
That's more what I was thinking of. I was trying to get at. And
Yeah.
the do they then recognise the Tiger Clan on the plateau as actually their people or their relations?
They don't recognise them as their relations, but they do have standing amongst the clan members because they follow very similar beliefs.
Well, except of course for the goes to like on the plateau where they're fallen under the influence of the corruptor, as opposed to that skeleton show.
You have a feeling that they followed the beliefs that the original Tiger Clan had before Daniel Tiger Stripes took over.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Tiger Clan was dedicated to these people.
Hmm.
As they
Oh,
being
okay, one. So, yeah, so originally these were the gods of the Tiger Clan until they got pulled away.
Until
Yeah.
Daniel
Yeah.
turned up.
And they left the Atruaghin lands at the time that Danal took over.
Oh, Danal.
Yeah, D-A-N-E-L.
I thought Daniel was a strange name for a tiger stripe person. But, you know,
Could be. Hmm.
So that puts it quite a long time before the rise of Atruaghin himself.
They did know Atruaghin, and they were part of his clans before Danal took his place amongst the gods.
Right.
So Danal is not as old
Sorry.
as hasn't been a god as long as Atruaghin has.
Right, yeah. Because as a player, I couldn't think from my head where Danal fitted in, so.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the name either.
Most of the Atruaghin gods are older than Atruaghin himself,
Yeah.
but not all of them.
Yeah.
So is this purely a conversation between
So
the Rakasta and
you do get to hear it,
Ratnamar, or-
and they do ask, what does the Great Dragon wish to ask?
everything. But primarily because she knows she can't ask everything, like what's that stick do, and what do the tigers eat, and can she talk to them, and will they play with her, and do they eat cookies, and all of the billions of other questions that occur to her.
Would you like a coffee?
She asks, the coffee that you have, does it come from a plant, and could she have some seedlings so she could grow some on her little plot of land? And she explains that she's growing or developing a supply of magical coffee plants that help heal people so that people can drink coffee and feel magically better, as well as stimulated by the natural qualities of the plant.
So while they can't give you the seedlings, they can have some of their people drop off some prepared beans for you,
Okay.
because their goddess does not like to share too much of their stuff.
She can respect that. She thought it would not hurt to ask.
Plus, the gods of this world don't like people planting things from another world here.
She figured she'd ask.
Yes.
Worst would happen is she'd get a no, and she can respect that. And
And Calcris does remember that there is a second hidden moon, which is their home.
yeah.
Aye.
And that's the black part of the sky they're pointing to. Yeah.
Basically, it never reflects light.
And the other thing that she would ask them is there a better way that she could be brewing her coffee? Obviously, she can't have their machinery. She understands that, but she always likes to learn, and she knows she can't necessarily take their technology, but she could pass on a bit of their culture, if that makes sense.
Now, one of them pulls out a book on coffee.
Oh, well, I'll take that.
And says, "Well, this is what they hand to their coffee apprentices.
Oh, nice.
Teaches them
How long does
about."
an apprenticeship take? When she's finished with the master, she might come back.
Well, they said they normally apprentice for a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. If she lives through
Why do you
helping
love
with the master, and if she's welcome,
So
she'll come back for an apprenticeship.
So the barista's secret craft.
Pretty much. I have coffee crafting tools, and I have coffee
Yep.
crafting magic skills that have meant that I have not been killed by many really big beasts that would normally kill me. So, yeah.
So you're a sorcerer who's actually part artificer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that they can make arrangements for you to apprentice
That she greatly appreciates.
when things
that.
settle down on this world.
She also just wouldn't mind knowing a bit more about their god, Bastet. She sounds very cool and lovely, and she's starting to collect gods. She didn't want to originally, but it's just kind of happened.
Well, they go into a tale about how Bastet was one of the gods of the lost race of Nithians.
Ah, I see.
And
Ooh, she knows this god.
and going through a whole story that Lowell realizes these guys remember.
Yeah, they're not
And-
just telling stories.
Yeah.
These
Good.
guys never had the memory taken from them.
Because they're on the moon at the time.
Time.
Yes. There is not
And-
all gods are infallible. And
No.
and that's the thing that it most triggers in Lowell is it says that even though a god eradicated all knowledge of it on the world, he only did it on the world.
Well, not
And-
everywhere.
Not inside the world, not on
Yeah.
the moon.
Well, that's the thing. Some of the stuff, the first stuff that I actually read on the Nithians, wasn't written by the Nithians. They didn't wipe that information, only the Nithian information.
Yep.
Yeah.
So other people relating the same stories, not affected. These are in the same boat, which means I've probably got
So-
some questions to ask. But I know enough about the Nithians now to go, I'm actually... they're not people to emulate in
And that
any
they,
possible
they
way.
have a handful of cat gods.
Yeah, and Calcrix wants to know, is it okay for her to write down some of this information, or should she just enjoy it for the memory that it is?
They don't care because it's not their, it's not forbidden to them.
Okay.
It's just part of
And-
their history.
Yeah, and people who are going to have an issue with it aren't going to be able to read it.
Yeah, that's okay.
And their
So-
cultures are such that this is a culture that they have historic knowledge of, does not influence their current culture.
Yeah,
Well, one of the things
because
I've been
if it did, there would be bad people to be around.
one of the things I've been wanting to
Of course, when you look at Doc and notice that Draggle's there writing everything down.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah. Drazzle's writing everything down, but Drazzle's
Of course.
a time
Of course.
traveling god.
He may not be writing down discussions about what was actually said. He's talking about the fact that there's conversation going on. He might not talk about the topic of the conversation.
Well, yeah, which is why
But he's apparently writing things down.
Whereas
Yeah, which is why
Calcrix is
we're
writing
taking
down
notes.
the stories and drawing
yeah.
pictures and
Yes.
you know she's doing sketches of everything she sees, and if people get hold of Calcrix's journal, there's a lot of knowledge in there. Except Calcrix has invented her own language. She calls it coffee speak. Only her, Eep, and Grindelwald talk it and write it.
Okay, did Calcrix have any other questions from this on these cats?
Mostly she just want to know, because Drapnib has asked all about the stuff relating to our mission. As I don't think I can think of anything relating to our mission that he's forgotten. At least I hope I haven't. So I was more interested in just learning a bit about their culture and
Well, part of the culture says that all life came from this island.
so
Right.
This was the birthplace of life. It used to be on top of a mountain until the world broke.
okay. And is that myth called anything particular? Or just something obvious like the world breaking?
They do say that their ancestors said a race of people did something wrong, and the elves have forbidden anyone to know about them.
Oh, I see. Yep.
And when they did something wrong, the world shifted.
Would that be
And things
Black
that were
Moorians?
things that
Not the Black Moorians,
they don't know
wrong
the name. They,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
can't
don't.
know the
Yeah,
name.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were
do.
on. They
Yes.
were basically on the surface of the planet at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know
Well,
the
we do-
story because
Yeah, well, we do know the Blackmorians. We could relate some of this to them.
Yeah.
People called the Blackmorians did something bad, and it changed the world.
So we can all
Um,
fill in blanks in our
and
stories.
They're
But they don't hear the name.
yeah.
They
Sorry,
can't hear the
another
name.
another one of the band names are people that we know the name of, but not everyone can know, did do that.
Though they do say that
So-
some of their people came from the future to help them survive the past.
Do they recognise anyone sitting in this party right now, particularly, I don't know, a blue dragon born?
No, they say it
No,
was
no.
a bunch of cats had come back in time to save their
a
civilization
very
from extinction.
self-serving bunch of cats out there to they survive.
Yes.
And as part of their survival, they are to stop more like those who came and caused so much damage from reaching this world. Though in
Yeah.
their history, only one notable exception got past them.
So one notable exception
Sorry.
got passed.
And that notable exception is.
About 500 odd years ago,
Mm-hmm.
And what did they get past again? Because my brain forgets.
got past the Recaster who was stopping aliens from visiting the planet.
Oh, and that notable exception being Redrin.
No,
Oh.
even Redrian's people
Well, none of
came
that.
thousands of years
It's
ago.
more likely
There's only
Oh,
500 years.
500 years ago.
Uh,
Okay. Oh, is that
the
our little
Lindsay and I
green?
group are investigating
Green
right
guy?
now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pilferings and his people.
Yep. And you can mention them.
So I can give them something they don't know, hopefully.
They do know of those people, they just don't advertise it. It's just the only people who
Yeah.
got past them.
I
Well,
could
true,
tell
it's
them
something to
about
be ashamed
if they value a tale unheard, I could tell them about a lost 400-year-old baby person of that race being returned back to his people.
Give me an insight roll first.
Am I giving off knowledge I should not give off?
That's what the insight roll's for.
Oh, crap. I did say I maybe
Well,
not should...
noting that,
Oh,
noting
that's
that
not
they've
actually-
described this as the one failure, they probably don't want to know more about their failure.
what's
Yeah, there is
insight?
that.
Insight.
Insight would most likely be wisdom, and you would add 8 to the roll.
8 to the rolls, 27.
Okay, so before, just about when you're about to describe the story and all that sort of stuff,
Mhm.
you see the look of shame on their faces and for letting the ship past,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because
okay.
that was the reason they were saved in the first place.
I will tell them a completely
And
different story.
They talk about how it's that their entire culture is about protecting this world from those that would abuse it with technology.
Yeah.
So if they use technology and you
But
know,
they don't spread it around. They don't use it to subjugate or stand above others.
I want to see. Will
They
my
use it to defend the world.
insight spread to asking them what they think of Redrian then?
Well, Redrian was here before them,
Okay,
and
so
they can't know about him because he's one of the forbidden names.
okay, so I would.
So even if you say it, they can't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing as me saying Blackmore and they're going, what?
So that the spell that was used to do a work on all the descendants of the people it was cast on.
Yes.
So you realise that they have kept aliens from invading the world for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're looking for something to help because something bad is coming.
What?
Well, yes, we know.
What help can we give them, if any? What should we
They
look for?
they want to find the other 4 of the
So we could look for the other
monolith sets and use it to find the shrine where everything is hidden.
Yes.
And it was hidden here to keep it away from technology
Adventurers.
that can find it.
Yeah.
Because it requires technology, it can only be used with technology.
And it's findable with technology unless that is blocked.
Yeah.
Similar to what we're doing with collecting magic items that are held out of time to stop
Mm.
people finding them.
I gather we're about to finish up because
We
of
are
the
going to
time.
finish up soon.
Yes.
because of the time.
Can we I gather after this conversation finished, provided no one else wants to ask questions, before we finish, Calcrix would like to do her prayer.
Okay, so before you do your prayer, I was going to add a little bit more.
Yep.
You do get a feel from these people that if you were to represent these guys as a culture from our own history, that would most fit with the samurai culture of Japan.
Yeah.
In their temperament and beliefs, in that they will follow their orders to the letter.
Yes.
As it's their honour to do all that stuff.
They have a very specific job to do, and they will do it.
And part of that is their technology can never fall into anyone else's hands,
Yeah.
nor can they use it to conquer or overcome others.
Yes.
They can use it to protect themselves and what they have, and to recover any of their technology that's been taken.
Yes.
As their only time they can use it.
Yes.
I've really been hoping to ride a T-Rex, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, they do say that there are some in the valleys surrounding the central
I don't know that
island.
I've got good enough charisma or charm to do that, but...
So you're big enough to have a chance of subjugating it.
Animal friendship spell.
Puppy!
Oh dear.
Alright, so, you're saying that they'd be similar to samurai. Anything else before I do my prayer?
No, that would be it.
Sometimes when I do my prayer, you let me just do my ritual and nothing happens.
Okay.
Sometimes you engage as a part of that. Is this one of those times where you're engaging, or you're going to get your answer next week?
Well, as of the time you start
Yep.
to do your prayer,
I start setting up my ritual.
you find yourself before a T-Rex looking god, and that's when we finish the session for tonight. As you can think about, what are you going to talk to this god about next session?
Starts her usual. She does this every night, so no one should be surprised.
No.
So yes, you do have samurai space cats.
Yes.
You're going to call it Samurai Space Cat. Oh, I want to go into combat with the Samurai Space Cats. I want to say I fought alongside Samurai Space Cats.
You still might.
That is something to look forward to next fortnight. You watch next fortnight. I'll be sitting here from like 4 p.m.
And
When's the
then
game starting?
And then there's the logistics guys, the samurai pizza cats. I can see them having pizza as a preferred food.
Can you say the name of the god? That appears. Was it Ra?
Ka, the preserver. K-A.
Yes.
K-A-R.
No, K-A.
K-A.
The
Yes.
preserver.
Ka. The preserver.
So, Jeremy, I'm going to go on to end credits, and then I'll say bye afterwards.
Yeah.
The preserver appears.